Tonight from Beaver Falls, we lift the lid on the 2023 high school football season as the Blackhawk Cougars take on the Beaver Falls Tigers. It's a crosstown catfight, and it's the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine, and it's coming up next.
Here we are, another year of high school football in Western Pennsylvania, the Steel City. The city of champions, creating football legends for 109 years. And it all starts on Friday nights. From Oakland to the Mon Valley, North Hills to Penn Hills. But then, there is this place, where it's not just a passion, but a lifestyle. Beaver County. I'm sure you've heard of a few of the legends from over the years.
Whitehead through a seam.
Beaver Falls is a town as blue-collar as they come, a place where the current players are playing for the ones that came before them. And as another season begins, that's what these young men can do now. Dream that they are the next to write history to become legends. Now, I might not be able to tell you who's going to win the WPIAL championships, but I will say, no matter who it is, this season will be worth watching. Even Broadway Joe would guarantee it.
Welcome to Beaver Falls on the campus of Geneva College, which historically is known as the birthplace of college basketball, but tonight will be known as the birthplace of the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine as Blackhawk takes on Beaver Falls. Hi, everybody, and welcome inside the broadcast booth. Happy New Year to you. I'm Matt Fargo, and you might know the guy standing next to me from his time at Penn State and Pitt, and even back when he was a Pittsburgh Central Catholic Viking. It's Johnny Patrician. Johnny's still searching for his pro football career, but in the meantime, going to hang out with us on Friday nights. JP, welcome to the other side.
Matt, thanks so much for having me tonight. I'm excited to be here. It's Western PA football. Football is back, everybody. I can smell it in the air. I'm excited to get after it.
And we got a good one picked out for us tonight. It's Blackhawk and Beaver Falls. Crosstown battle, and you talk about Beaver Falls first. They made the WPIAL championship the last 3 seasons, coming up short the last 2, so they're trying to look for gold. Meanwhile, Blackhawk, they got a big curveball thrown at them just 2 weeks ago. Zach Hayward, he takes the athletic director job at Chartiers Valley. That means Pat Feely making his head coaching debut here with us today.
You're right. I'm sure this close to the season, it was an emotional roller coaster for the players and staff with Hayward leaving, but Coach Pat Feely is well respected in the community and as well as the team. And he's not new to the Blackhawk program as a whole. He's been with them since 1999, but he is new to the head coaching job. We'll see how he gets after it tonight.
Yeah, first time making all the decisions for the Cougars tonight. And, well, I want to see who are your players to watch for tonight's game. We'll start with the visitors, the Blackhawk Cougars.
Let's do it. First off, I'm excited about Maurice Watson-Trent. He's a do-it-all, bell cow type back. Last year, he only had 450 rushing yards, mostly due to injury. I expect him to eclipse that mark early in the season this year. The success for Blackhawk tonight rides on his health.
Yeah, and I'm sure Big Bro will be watching him on television tonight. On the other side of things for Beaver Falls, you got a lineman feature tonight.
Not often we have a lineman feature for players to watch, but it's Samari McCoy. He's a big guy in the middle. He's the anchor, and he's the strong, physical one in the trenches for Beaver Falls. He's going to be pushing guys around. Expect to see some pancakes out of him tonight.
Yeah, an all-conference player from a season ago. All right, Johnny, time for the keys to the game. Brought to you by Nick Chevrolet. How do you get a win tonight?
Well, first off, for Nick Chevrolet, before you buy, give Nick a try. It's right local up on Route 28, and I got my truck from them. I'm going to get my next car from them as well. For Blackhawk, they got to protect the football. And last season's matchup, Blackhawk turned the ball over 6 times in the first half, and they were still in the game, Matt. Yep. But also, they got to play with passion for Coach Feely. They have a great relationship with this coach. He loves them, and they're going to play with an extra chip on their shoulder tonight for him. And with Beaver Falls, they got to force Canale to throw downfield. He's inexperienced. He was thrown into the fire last year as a freshman. And with that being said, they got to capitalize off the turnovers that they force. You know, you shouldn't only have 22 points in the first half of last year. You got to turn turnovers into touchdowns.
Absolutely, making that defense offense will be a key. All right, the stage is set. We've been waiting for the 2023 high school football season. Moments away, the curtain is about to rise, and we have one question to ask. Are you ready? We answer that question on the back half of this break. It's the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine, and we're coming back at you. Coming up next.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
Nobody's going to catch him.
Put it all on the line, put it all on the line. I know it's a time. Oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Come on, oh, let's go, let's go.
And after that, I don't know how you can't be ready for high school football in Western Pennsylvania, Beaver County. We're inside Reeves Stadium for Blackhawk and Beaver Falls. The crosstown rivalry renewed. Blackhawk and Beaver Falls. And we're going to introduce the third member of our crew. Hannah Mears is down on the sideline.
Pat Feely has really only had a few weeks in this head coaching role for Blackhawk, but make no mistake, he knew what it was going to take over this program, as he's been an assistant since 1999, and he's had his assistants to lean on as well. But he put emphasis on the players being the most important piece in all of this, and said that Coach Hayward left a wonderful foundation with the relationships with these players for him to build upon. And he wants these players to always remember they're more than just a number on a jersey. So that's his biggest emphasis coming into this head coaching role. As for the X's and O's, he's also more than capable of taking over this team. And Coach Nardone, the coach opposite the sideline of him tonight, gave him all the respect, saying, when I was hired as the Beaver Falls head coach, I tried to steal Pat Feely for my staff. So Matt, JP, a really fun coaching matchup with a lot of mutual respect going on in this rivalry tonight as well.
Thanks so much, Hannah. There's no question about it. When you get two teams, JP, that are so close in proximity, 6 miles separate the high schools from each other, you know you're going to get a little bit of that.
No doubt. You know, all the players on the opposing teams definitely know each other on the field, and as well, they probably hang out outside as well. The coaches definitely know each other, so very two familiar teams tonight.
All right, it will be our Allegiant kickoff. Allegiant Federal Credit Union bringing you kickoffs all season long on our Steel City High School Football Showcase. It's Blackhawk will have this teed up for Beaver Falls. It's Aiden Wisner with this one teed up, and Blackhawk, Beaver Falls, the 2023 high school football season, and our Steel City High School Football Showcase underway from Beaver Falls. Tigers set to return it from the 20 across the 25 to the 30. On the return for Beaver Falls is Mike Blackshear. And we'll get our first look at the Beaver Falls offense, and that's Deshaun Anderson leading his Tigers out onto the field the first series of the season.
You know, he's a do-it-all guy. He's not going to throw it downfield often, but they put him in there to tote the rock. They put him in there for wildcat situations. Look more for Brickner in the pro-style passing situations when they get behind in the sticks, possibly third and long, second and long. But Anderson's going to start with it tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have potentially as many as 3 guys at quarterback. And it is Anderson operating out of the shotgun to get things started. Motion man out of the slot, jet motion, and Anderson keeps. And he'll lower his shoulder across the 40-yard line right around the first down sticks. A 10-yard pickup for Anderson as we take a look at the Beaver Falls starting offense. Mentioned Anderson at quarterback. You got Bricks Rawl, all-name team nomination already here this season. Buford also in the backfield. Blackshear, Harris, P.D. Pugh, Milliner, West, Sims, Lee, and we talked about Samari McCoy anchoring both sides of that Beaver Falls line. First down at 10, so a 10-yard pickup for Anderson. On the 43-yard line, Anderson going to let it fly, and he had a receiver wide open, and it goes incomplete, trying to find P.D. Pugh down the far sideline, and that would have been 6 if he just would have taken a little bit more time.
Well, it looks like Blackhawk had the same idea I did just a few moments ago. They said, Harris, you're not going to throw the ball against us. Throw it, we're going to dare you. And they did, and he was just a little off the mark there.
So second down and 10 for the Beaver Falls offense. Anderson with Buford to his right. And they hand it off to Buford. And he'll pick up right up the middle to the 49-yard line. Slicing in there for Blackhawk is Ryan Buckles. And we'll take a look at the Blackhawk starting defense. Price Jr., Javins, Buckles on the line. Heckathorn, Canale, Rodriguez, Woodward, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Watson, Trent, Morrow, Campagna, and Stewart.
Well, now they got Brickner in there at quarterback. Maybe they're going to throw it here, but just as we know that, Blackhawk knows that too.
Brickner sends Anderson in motion, and they hand it off to Anderson, and he's stacked up right at the 50-yard line. Nicely done. First one on the scene was Watson Trent, and Ryan Buckles locked it in.
Well, Matt, it's obvious the first 4 plays of their season, they want to get the ball into Anderson's hands, whether he's in quarterback wildcat or he's at running back or wing. They got to get the ball into his hands no matter how they do it.
You mentioned Brickner, of course, the younger brother of Jaron Brickner, who was the quarterback and has all the Beaver Falls records, now playing college football in West Virginia. Fairmont State, him and Trey Singleton both went to Fairmont State.
Fourth down here, Matt.
And they're going to go back into punt formation.
Little pooch punt action.
Wow. And Brickner just had a shot at it. And I think all the Beaver Falls fans, represented by JP there, and how he felt about that.
Jeez, oh man, I felt like that ball was moving in slow motion. It was down within the 5 for seconds. Beaver Falls needs to take advantage of that field position and get that ball down there in the opposing territory, but big missed opportunity there for Beaver Falls.
And a nice job with the leg by Caden Brickner. We're expecting him to do things with his arm, but nice job there to at least give them an opportunity. There's your starting quarterback, Stephen Canale, for the Blackhawk Cougars. His first pass his freshman year against Aliquippa went for a touchdown.
Well, let's see if he can do something similar like that tonight. The coaches expect him to take big strides this season after going through some growing pains last year in his freshman campaign.
Shotgun formation for the Cougars. They got trips here to the near side. They motion out of the slot, A.J. Montgomery. And Watson Trent gets the carry, and he'll move forward for a yard. Not much more on the first carry of the 2023 season for Maurice Watson Trent.
So as I mentioned last drive, Matt, in the first drive of the season, you really get to see what the coaches' schemes are, what the themes are going to be throughout the year. They're going to go to their bread and butter plays as everybody gets the rust off, as everybody gets their nerves off. So expect to see pretty vanilla play calling the first few drives here.
That was Italian Bruford on the stop at second down and 9. As Canale does a check with me, looks to his wristband here and moves Watson Trent from his left to his right. Long snap count. Canale goes Rolling to the right side, immediate pressure, and he's buried, but he was able to get the pass away. And shooting in for Beaver Falls, it's Anderson, doing it on the defensive side as much as he is on the offensive side.
You know, anytime you have three receivers to one side of the field, expect a quarterback rollout, especially when he moved Watson Trent into that same side where all the other receivers are at. They're going to roll out to that side, and that block on the edge is crucial. They did not get that done, and the defender came right off the edge and made the play in the backfield.
Makes it 3rd down and 9 for Blackhawk. Canale, send a man in motion, play action. Hit as he throws, puts the ball up, and incomplete. Thrown out of bounds. It caught Tyler Heckathorn. Made the reception, but a yard or two in the white. And it's 4th down, and Blackhawk goes 3 and out on their first series of the season.
You know, I'm excited, though. Canale took a shot. Maybe he was a little nervous for the first drive, took a shot. That's a good, exciting, and optimistic going forward. Although they had Watson Trent in the flat there, could have got some positive yards there. They decided to take a shot downfield.
Probably had a lot of the fact that he had some guys barreling down in on him, a lot of pressure.
He knew he had to get rid of it quickly.
4th down, punt unit on for Blackhawk. Punt is away and rolling towards the far boundary where it's out of bounds. And it will be Beaver Falls getting another opportunity here when we come back. Our Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. No score, Beaver Falls Blackhawk. We're back after this.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 5 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Sure, I'll be there at 5 a.m. I can binge one more episode.
Let's face it, you don't always set yourself up for success.
5 more minutes. Where are my work shoes?
But GBU Life makes it easy with life insurance and annuity products to help secure your future, so you have the freedom to do more of what you love.
Congratulations! You did it! Retiring early must be nice. What are you going to do first?
I think I'll sleep in.
Secure your future today. Visit gbu.org.
They call 2 men in a truck. If you're like Joe, you need to move your business without moving a single meeting. The word stop isn't in your vocabulary. You want it handled with no hitches, no glitches, and no sweat. That's why you call 2 men in a truck.
2 men in a truck. Panera's You Pick 2 means when part of you wants crispy, crunchy, fresh, and part of you wants melty, smoky, peppery. Both U's win big. You pick 2 and get more. Cater your next event with Panera.
And we're back to Beaver Falls Reef Stadium. Beaver Falls' second crack at it offensively. No score here with 8:41 to play in our opening quarter. With Johnny Patricia, Matt Fargo with you. Hannah Mears down on the sidelines. Getting the high school football season kicked off Beaver County style tonight. Glad you joined us. Anderson back in at quarterback, designed run play to him, and Blackhawk has this read beautifully. A bunch of white jerseys in on the stop. And the first one there, anchoring that defensive line, Javen Maddox for Blackhawk.
You know, when he's in the Wildcat formation, everybody in the stadium knows he's touching the ball and he's going downhill with it. Blackhawk was ready for it there. But during the break, Matt, I looked back at that throw on 3rd down by Canale, and it was on the money. It was just a yard out of bounds. But very impressive throw downfield.
On 2nd down, they end up handing it off to D'Italian Buford. A 5'11 senior gets the carry, and he picks his way over the 50-yard line into Blackhawk territory. Mark him at the 48-yard line. Will be another 3rd down here for BF.
The whole playbook is open to him here, Matt. They're at midfield, 3rd and medium. They can run, they can throw. It'll be interesting to see what decision they make here.
3rd and 5.
Expect for them to pick their favorite play. This is where you can't go wrong as a play caller.
Anderson shifting the formation. Pitch, nice one-handed grab there by D'Italian Buford, and he charges forward. He's going to be short of the sticks, but Buford made a nice grab there to save what could have been disaster for Beaver Falls. Remember, they weren't the team turning the ball over the last time these two teams met.
Right. Buford, that was a little too close for comfort. A great save by him. That could have been a big loss on the play there if he doesn't catch that.
This Beaver Falls team, 11-2 from the season ago, went to the WPIAL championship. Lost to Steel Valley. Buford the call on 4th down, bounces it outside, has a first down, and then help arrives for Blackhawk, but it's a fresh set for the Tigers. Deeper into Blackhawk territory at the 38-yard line.
Buford's a big guy when he gets behind his pads and gets rolling downfield. I don't think there's any corner in the Whippeal that wants to come up and meet him at the line of scrimmage. Look, it's taken the whole team to take him down. Wow. Look at that power. That's the off-season weight room coming in handy right there.
You know, it doesn't get talked about enough how important that is. First down at 10. Wildcat for Anderson. A little stiff arm, but he's going nowhere. On the scene quickly for Blackhawk is Cody Woodward, the junior. Only going to get a yard on that one. It will be second down at 9.
Anderson was trying to make something out of nothing there. It was a good job of him by getting back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gain 1.
It does seem like right now, offensives, you don't want to be the first team to make the first mistake.
Yeah, but you do want to be the first team to score. I'll tell you that.
Well, how about Bricks Raw getting his first carry of the season, and Raw rumbles for a first down. A 12-yard pickup for 28 in black.
Bricks Raw, as you mentioned earlier, the leader in the clubhouse so far this season for the all-Whippeal, all-name team.
No question. You're a running back and you're a linebacker, and you got 2 X's in your name.
Bricks with 2 X's. That's great. I'm sure there's a lot of puns you can make. He hits like a brick.
Yeah. I'll try to come up with some.
Think of a few. Let me know.
It'll be a masonry convention before I'm done.
He needs an NIL deal with some construction,
There we
construction company.
First down at 10 for the Tigers. Couple nice plays here.
Spreading it out here, Matt, in a 2-by-2 formation. Going in motion, going back the other way.
Anderson takes it, and he's just shy of the 20-yard line.
As we talked about before, they're trying to get Anderson outside, inside, any way that Blackhawk might not expect him to. Especially on the first drive, we saw him even throw one deep when nobody was expecting that.
Anderson, a 3.6 GPA in the classroom. Goes by Pops.
Pops.
And said his favorite restaurant, Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, they got the buns.
Yeah, got the buns.
With the cinnamon butter.
Oh,
Pops, I like that place too.
Second down. Back to pass. It'll take it off and run with it. It's Petey Pugh. Pugh breaks free. Pugh, the first time he touches the football as a Tiger. He's into the end zone for the touchdown of 21 yards.
Great vision by Petey Pugh. He ran it to the left, and a seam of daylight showed up to the right, and he hit it right on the nose.
Petey Pugh, a transfer to this Beaver Falls team last year, came in the spring.
If I'm Beaver Falls, I'm giving him some more touches for the rest of the game. That was great running by him.
Plunges in for the 21-yard touchdown. They'll go for the 2-point conversion.
Gary Petey Pugh.
They go jet motion and fail the conversion. Blackshear cannot get the corner. But Beaver Falls, they draw first claw in this one. The Tigers on the board first over the Cougars at 6-0. You're watching live coverage of WPIAL football. It's the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine.
Pittsburgh. Its long and proud heritage is beautifully preserved in the awe-inspiring buildings that surround it. In the places where we live, where we worship, and where we play, one company has been awarded the challenge of restoring all that great heritage. For nearly 75 years, Mariani and Richards, restoring the heritage, preserving the pride.
Maya, can you come in here, please?
Already.
Yeah, Dad, what's up?
Is that your brother on the TV?
Yeah, that's my brother. It looks like it's tonight's game.
But how can that be your brother? I have never missed a single game.
We couldn't go tonight. Remember, you broke your foot.
Makes the catch over the Hobart defender,
Right.
and that is 6 points.
Well, I don't know who's putting on this production, but without them, I'd be missing this.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
And welcome you back to our Steel City High School football showcase. And we'll go down to the sidelines, back to Hannah Mears. Hannah.
Hey guys, you saw Petey Pugh get in the end zone for Beaver Falls, and you'll see a lot of diversity on this offense tonight. There are 3 guys that are going to be taking snaps at quarterback, as I'm sure you saw. Caden Brickner is going to be the pro-style quarterback, Deshaun Anderson, and Petey Pugh, the Wildcat type. And Nick Nardone said this is because he has 15 seniors on this team, and he wants to spread this athleticism around as much as possible. And so far, so good this evening.
I'll say so, and some unfortunate circumstances there for Sam Stewart, but he was able to pick himself back up, grab the football, and move back up to the 25-yard line. So what could have been trouble, no hurt there for the Blackhawk offense, but Nick Nardone waxed poetic on what he thinks of Petey Pugh, and just happy that he is happy. And I think that, sometimes, we love playing the sport, but also the student comes before the athlete, and I think that it's a great thing that he's doing well and enjoying his time now at Beaver Falls, getting into the end zone very early on.
No doubt. I'm sure his confidence is sky high right now.
First down and 10 for the Blackhawk offense. They're back to work. Canale going to shovel it off to Watson Trent, who's going to try to cut back against the green. That wasn't a good idea because he met Damon Lee, who takes him down, and it will be 2nd down and 9, so they give him 1 on the play.
That is a defensive lineman's dream when you're running full speed pursuit and the running back cuts right back into you. Damon Lee is licking his chops right now.
Back in April, Lee received an offer to Waynesburg University. Maybe he'll be a Yellow Jacket. 2nd down and 8. Watson Trent had some trouble, was trying to bounce it outside, and a whole host of black jerseys collide inside. It's Deshaun Anderson again stepping up out of the secondary and laying a lick there.
Well, that was also one of our players to watch.
Is that Samari McCoy in there?
That was Samari McCoy in there, shooting the gap. And that's why he's one of our players to watch. Not often you see that from an offensive and defensive lineman, but he's got high expectations from us tonight.
Hey, give the Hogs up front some love, right?
Yes, sir.
3rd down, 8 for the Cougars. 4 wide receivers set. Canale goes back to pass, has pressure off the edge, throws, and is incomplete. Trying to hook up with Sam Stewart. Couldn't find it here.
Sam Stewart going to get it some extra tick tonight after number 2, Dante Campagna, showed up tonight with street clothes on. We were looking forward to seeing him, but Sam Stewart's up for the job.
He gets the start on defense. The extra receiver that moves up the depth chart on the offensive side, and now it's 4th down. Blackhawk to punt the football away. And it goes up the elevator shaft, not good, and received and then popped. But a big opportunity for Beaver Falls. Christian Dawkins was able to grab that one out of the atmosphere, and Beaver Falls is going to have great field position here.
Well,
Heads-up play there by Ryan Campbell to knock Caden Brickner down, because Brickner could have been into the end zone.
Well, Matt, it didn't take long for the 3rd phase of the game to show up on special teams. A block punt is extremely common in high school compared to any other level because of the inexperience from the long snapper and the punter. It is hard to get that down in high school, and it shows right there.
Nice play by Dawkins.
If I was Beaver Falls, I would send a full-out block punt scheme every time.
Dawkins just a sophomore, by the way. And they hand it off the left side. Buford's into the end zone. Touchdown, Beaver Falls. 24 yards. The Tigers do it on one play and turn special teams into points.
Hey, Matt, that was our key to the game. That block punt counts as a turnover, basically, and they turned the turnover into a touchdown. Only took them 2 plays after the block punt, and let's see if they can keep that momentum rolling for the drives to come.
Italian Buford, the senior, gets into the end zone.
You know, Matt, Beaver Falls has a lot of weapons, and they're showing it early. Everybody's getting touches.
2-point conversion here for the Tigers. And it's Anderson getting into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Deshaun Anderson. So that puts the 2 points on the board, and it's 14-0. And we take a look at Blackhawks' record from a season ago. And now we'll look at Beaver Falls' record from a season ago. It's 11-2. I mentioned that loss to Steel Valley, one of their 2 losses. They ended up beating Blackhawk, as we've talked about, that 22-7 win. They led 22-0 at halftime of that game, and then lost the rivalry game to Beaver, 19-7. You stack these rivalry games, and you're playing out of your classification if you're Beaver Falls, and going all the way to the WPIO championship. But they like testing themselves early on in the season, so when they do get into their AA schedule, it seems a little bit easier, right?
It's a big difference. Yeah, you got arguably one of your biggest tests of the year in week 0, so it should be smooth sailing for the Tigers going forward.
You can just flip that schedule, who's home and who's away, and then you would get what the Beaver Falls schedule is this year. Of course, the realignment for the PIAA is next year, so teams that are on the bubble. Is Beaver Falls a AA or a AAA school? Is Blackhawk a 4A or a 3A school? All those things a year from being decided. We'll find out normally around February where all the teams end up for the 2024 season.
You know, Matt, talking about Beaver Falls makes me wonder, are there any special or nice waterfalls in the Beaver Falls area? What makes it being called Beaver Falls? Sounds like an extravagant, nice vacation destination.
Well, here we are. Don't you feel that way?
I don't see the beaches here in Beaver County.
Yeah, you haven't explored enough.
Yeah, well, I'm an adventurous guy, so I want to check out the waterfalls in the area of Beaver Falls.
We'll give you a history lesson later. This, I will tell you that Beaver Falls is the first high school in Beaver County.
Okay.
Founded 1867.
Wow.
Yeah.
That takes us way back. They've had some good teams over the years.
Yeah, 114 years of Beaver Falls football here tonight. As Blackhawk back to work on the kickoff, Sam Stewart on the return across the 30, so better job there securing things for Sam, and back to work goes the Blackhawk offense, and now they find themselves down by 2 scores here early, Johnny, and now things typically go in one of 2 directions. You get, you press the panic button, you get out of your game plan, and it goes in your favor, or it goes way out of your favor, or you stay with what you know, and it could go in either direction as well.
Beaver Falls is just following our keys to the game. I think they must have been listening to it in the locker room, because we said they have to force somebody other than Maurice Watson-Trent to beat them. And now they've got to put it in the hands of Canale. Blackhawk, that is.
Canale's going to hand this one off. On the near side, it's Thomas Price Jr. getting the carry. Up to the 35-yard line on first down, so that's a positive set for the Cougars. That's actually going to go as a pass. Canale shoveling that ahead.
Well, that helps the stat book. Anytime you get some positive yardage as a quarterback off of a short pitch, that gives you some much-needed yards. But I want to see Canale throw the ball downfield here. They got to keep keep Beaver Falls on their heels. They're just expecting the run at this point.
Second down, 6 from the 35. Canale under pressure, steps up, evades one, throws here to the near side. It's caught. Was able to shake off one would-be defender. Now he's going to reverse field back the other way for the Cougars, and was juking and jiving his way. It's A.J. Montgomery, and making something happen there for Montgomery up to the 38-yard line. It's third down and short, all thanks to Montgomery's weaving.
A.J. Montgomery did a great job there making something out of nothing. 1, 2, 3 Beaver Falls defenders he made miss in the backfield. They could have got him for a loss. And he ended up getting some positive yardage, and now they got a crucial third down here coming up.
It's third down and 3 at the 38-yard line.
They desperately need a first down here, Matt. Their defense is tired on the sideline.
Beaver Falls was showing blitz, and a timeout is taken. And it is a timeout by Blackhawk, their first charge timeout. Pat Feely's first timeout of his career taken as a head coach. And we'll step aside with this timeout.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
All right, let's go down to Hannah, who has something. Hannah?
Matt, you're seeing this Blackhawk team click a little bit here on offense, and there's going to be a little bit of growing pains. Pay attention to number 56, Austin Simons. He is someone who didn't play last year to focus on hockey, and now he got moved to right guard. He played 2 years ago as wide receiver and tight end, but coach told him to make sure you get on the field. We're going to try you out at lineman at right guard because I liked those hockey legs when he walked in to practice the first day of summer. So number 56, Simons, focusing him at right guard and only on offense tonight to try to improve. So look for him out there making plays.
Thanks, Hannah. And Simons, as a freshman, was a wide receiver and tight end, so bulked up, I'd say, a little bit to get put on the offensive line.
Bulked up. Hopefully we see some of that hockey toughness out there in the trenches tonight. Blackhawk needs all of it that they can get.
Cougars not able to move the football across the sticks. It's fourth down again. The punt unit goes back out for the Cougars.
We'll see if they make any changes or adjustments here, Matt, or if that long snapper was practicing the snap on the sideline.
Alex Pritchard doing the punting duties for the Cougars, and it goes over his head. And Pritchard's going to have to chase this one down. He slides down, he bobbles it, and he's going to hang on to it. And I think they're going to mark him as a safety. It's Beaver Falls getting 2 more.
Well, with that mistake, that was probably the best thing that could have happened was for the punter to jump on the ball in the end zone rather than laying down on the 1 yard line, and then Beaver Falls can score a touchdown from there. So giving up 2 points was best case scenario after that snap went over his head and that far back towards the end zone.
While you're talking about special teams, it has been certainly the struggle for Blackhawk here right out of the gate. I want to thank our 2023 Steel City High School Football Showcase sponsors: UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant, GBU Life, 2 Minute a Truck, Koza Law Group, the Special Olympics Pennsylvania, Leeway Enterprises, Bud Bear, LaRoche University, Mariani and Richards, Washington and Jefferson College, the Waterfront, Ready Premium Hydration, Panera Catering, thanks for hooking all of our crew up tonight, Allegheny College, and thanks to the fine folks at JRM Video Production bringing you this broadcast tonight and throughout the 2023 high school football season. We're talking more about Pat Feely. JP mentioned early in the broadcast, been an assistant since 1999. It's in his 25th season. Originally from Hornell, New York, outside of Rochester. Played nose guard at Bucknell, He's a world history teacher at Blackhawk as we get the free kick here. Fielded from the 42-yard line. It's Pugh up to the 50, so still good field position for the Tigers, who have to be circling right now, JP. You're up 16-0, and I think you're almost wanting a repeat, if not extending what happened a season ago when you had a 22-0 lead at halftime. They love it to be more than that.
Yeah, it feels like it could be a lot more than 16-0. They've dominated every facet of the game so far. Blackhawk can't have too many first downs. But you mentioned Pat Feely a couple moments ago.
Yep.
The players love him. They seem to be rallying around him. Pat Feely mentioned earlier this week that him and Maurice Watson-Trent have a great relationship. Sometimes he sends him Walter Payton highlights to emulate.
Anderson trying to get it over to Meach Taylor, and he had it and then lost it. Incomplete.
And you know, sometimes, Matt, they say when things are going bad, sometimes they might get worse, and they almost did right there for Blackhawk. Blackhawk is lucky that they didn't haul that in.
As a receiver, you were once upon a time walking back to the huddle after, I mean, you didn't drop too many, but when you did.
Well, you know, I will say, Matt, those ones that are hanging up in the air forever and you know you're open, those are the hardest ones to catch.
Because you have so much time.
And you're only thinking about, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. The key is to think, catch it, catch it, catch it. And that's how you haul it in. So hopefully he'll get that one back later in the game.
It's Brooks Rawls getting the carry, and he's inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Watson-Trent and company in on the tackle for Blackhawk as we wind our way down here in the first quarter. 30 seconds to play. Don't mind the graphic having a technical difficulty on that, but we'll keep you updated as Rawl, oh man, trying to get the push there. Forward progress is going to mark him about 1.5 yards shy of the stick, where it will be 4th down.
I hate to say this pun, Matt, but I'm too tempted. Bricks Raw ran into a brick wall right there. That was just too easy.
And on that note, we have to take a commercial break.
That was low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it was. And it just end of the first quarter. Beaver Falls leads Blackhawk 16-0. Stay with us. It's a Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur, a dreamer with a passion for success? With Koza Law Group, your journey starts now. Whether you're dreaming of a small startup or envisioning a global empire, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Starting a business shouldn't be scary. It's about embracing the spirit of innovation, taking calculated risks, and believing in your potential to make a difference. We are more than just legal advisors. We are redefining legal services. Contact us today to experience the Koza Law difference.
Here at Loway, we have a pretty vast array of customizable promotional products, from pens, signs, mugs, water bottles, really anything you can think of. Some of the main services we provide here are screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. What really sets us apart from our competitors is our on-staff design crew and our customer service. We can really help take your branding and marketing to a new level. The main thing you can expect from us here at Loway is quick turnaround times and a really high quality product.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Collision Center. We are the only Subaru certified collision center in Washington County that is also a Subaru retailer. If you hear that crunch, remember, bring it to Bud Bear and we're going to make it look new again. We are the only Subaru retailer within 20 miles of Washington that can take care of you from A to Z. Whether you need mechanical work, tires, body work, whatever it may be, we take care of you, and remember, we are certified. Find out more on our website, budbear.subaru.com.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
We're back to Geneva College, getting things rolling here in quarter number 2. Blackhawk Beaver Falls. Tigers lead the Cougars 16-0. Nice shot there of Reeves Stadium on the campus of Geneva College. Our aerial coverage all season long. Can't wait for it. All those great shots of the great stadiums that we will be checking out all year long. First down and 10. And they go on the end around to Woodward. Woodward trying to bounce it and cannot. Sliding in there. Well, that was Anderson, beg your pardon. And
Brendan Rodriguez on the tackle.
Thanks.
Nice wrap and roll gator tackle. Gator style, they call that.
Second down and 9 now for the Tigers. Anderson gets the snap. Buford gets the call. Buford just lowers his shoulder. D'Italian Buford, the ball comes out, and Blackhawk says they have it, and the officials agree. Cougar football, and Blackhawk and their student section has something to cheer about. The first turnover by the Tigers.
Blackhawk desperately needed that. Buford has the hot hand. They've been giving it to him. He broke a few tackles and tried to break one too many there as Blackhawk punched it out.
Oh, man, so close. Oh, man. There's no red hanky to take a look at it, so play stands as called. I don't know that there's enough to overturn it, JP, if there would be.
I don't know either.
How about this? Throwing it back with the full house formation and handing it off the left side. It's Thomas Price Jr. getting the carry.
He was one tackle away from breaking that to daylight.
And I know Joe Hamilton, longtime coach, second all-time winning coach in WPIAL history, is in attendance tonight. And he had to love when he saw that formation.
Yeah, that brings it back to the old days. Old school smash mouth football. That's where 7-on-7 and all the things you do in the summer, that can't save you. You got to put the pads on and put the shoulder pads in front of you.
Second down and 2, pickup of 8 on that run by Thomas Price. Fullback handoff here that gets up to the 35-yard line, and we'll check in with Hannah Mears.
Yeah, guys, last year I talked to Coach Nick Nardone about this game, and he said they were up 22-0 at halftime. And I said, how do you plan to execute a hotter start than that this Friday night? And he said, try to avoid mistakes. Turnovers wins football games, and we capitalized on those last year. So I'm sure he's really talking to his team right now to make sure that they don't commit many more of those turnovers, because he saw how that result can be flipped in the other direction firsthand.
There's no question about it, Hannah. We've been talking about how important that is, and we've seen it on full display as Canale calls his own number, picks up the first down, and Blackhawk has their first down of this ball game and this season with that run.
Jeez, a couple minutes into the second quarter, and that's their first one. Wow. That is not a good sign going forward, but they seem to have a theme here that they like, Matt. They're putting everybody in the backfield, no receivers in the game. They're going in their heavy personnel, and they're having some success with it so far on this drive.
And off, it's Watson Trent getting the carry, and he actually had some room to run as he's over the 45 to the 46-yard line. And I think they're finding something here with this pace and going to the ground and pound.
Well, they got a momentum starter with the turnover, and now let's see how they follow it up with the sudden change personnel. And that's the type of game that Watson Trent has. He's a downhill runner. He's not a sideline-to-sideline guy. He's a between the hash marks, get downhill fast and now.
Canale flips it back out. It's Watson Trent trying to get the corner, and he does. Back-to-back, fresh set of downs for the Cougars. Right at the 49-yard line for Blackhawk.
Well, they're doing exactly what we said they weren't doing last drive. Last drive, I said they didn't have any first downs yet, and now they got 2 back-to-back.
Denari Harris made the quick tackle there for BF, but not before it's a first down. And Beaver Falls. Thought they were going to maybe look over whether or not they got it, but they moved the sticks. It's a first down. So that would have been an official's timeout. It is not. They keep that one in their pocket. First down and 10 for the Cougars. Canale going to hand it off. It's Price Jr. on that carry, and Jr. goes to the far boundary before he's upended. P.D. Pugh in on the tackle for the Tigers.
Man, and Price Jr., 220 pounds. That's a big guy carrying the ball. And he showed some good athleticism for his size right there. Not many defensive backs want to come up and tackle him on the edge.
Second down and 7 as they're into Beaver Falls territory. Cougars' best offensive drive yet. Canale, the junior, hits it on the end around to Stewart. Stewart bounces off 2 would-be tacklers and a third and carries a couple more forward to the 45-yard line. It took a couple Tigers to wrestle down Stewart.
Stewart showing us some toughness there, and he's making a case as to why he should get more touches in Campagna's absence.
Stewart's become a key component of this offense. That Campagna on the sideline.
That goes to show what the coaching staff feels about him. That's a big compliment. They're getting the ball in his hands when he wasn't expected to play much tonight. But he's doing a great job so far.
Now they'll go back pro and go 3 wide to the far side. Back to pass, going to put the ball up into the air and try to find Kai Morrow on this near sideline. Tight coverage there. There's Deshaun McElvey on the coverage, the junior for BF.
Well, at least they took a shot downfield, Matt. You know, even if it was incomplete, it makes Beaver Falls respect their passing game a little bit more, knowing they just can't load the box and expect them to run it every play.
6:52 to play here in our second quarter, 16-0. Beaver Falls capitalizing on early Blackhawk miscues, has them out by a 2 score, and now Blackhawk trying to sustain a drive offensively. Second down. High snap, pulled down, and then onto the turf, and still bobbled around. It's still loose, and I believe Blackhawk finally pounced on it. How in the world did Canale find that one?
Well, they got lucky to land on that one, Matt. Beaver Falls would have been in enemy territory starting off with some momentum.
Well, either way, the Tigers coming back. When we come back, 16-0. BF leads it. We'll be back on the Steel City Showcase.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
Panera's You Pick 2 means when part of you wants crispy, crunchy, fresh, and part of you wants melty, smoky, peppery. Both U's win big. You pick 2 and get more. Cater your next event with Panera.
Looking to escape a dead-end job? We can help. Apply at 2 Men in a Truck today for a good job that can become a great career.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiance.
Welcome back. Tigers take over on downs, so either way, Tigers were getting the football easy way or the hard way, and Beaver Falls right back to work almost where they left off that last drive and where they fumbled. First down and 10 for the Tigers, and Anderson goes back to work. And he'll hand it off. This time, Denari Harris with a burst of speed to the 25-yard line.
Denari Harris is another one of the weapons that they have. They have a plethora of weapons that they can give the ball to on any given play, which makes it hard for a defense. You got to prepare for so many different people.
They have the first down, and they're going to go quick pace here. Anderson sends a man in motion. Right back into the belly of Denari Harris, and Harris gets another chunk inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. And, you know, JP, certain sports teams have those nicknames for teams and specific players within that team. You know, they had the Killer Bees back in the day. I don't know how we, like, this is like the apostrophe gang. You got Deshaun, D'Italian, Denari.
Right. Samari.
If you got an apostrophe, you're making things happen for Beaver Falls. D'Italian Buford on cue for the first down for the Tigers inside the 15-yard line, and he is slow to get up, as is another Tiger. That's Damian Lee. And as the athletic training staff tends to him, we're going to look at Blackhawk and their 2022 season. Losses to Beaver Falls and Highlands right out of the gate. Big win against Mars. Eric Kasparovitz, his first season last year against the Planets, beat them, then beat Ambridge. Chartiers Valley a victory. Central Valley was another loss, and then Aliquippa, that's the meat of the schedule. Then lost a thrilling game to West Allegheny, lost to Montour, but found a way to get in the postseason with that 37-7 win over Newcastle, and then they lost their playoff game against Armstrong. The Riverhawks took down the Cougars 39-7. So I think the nice thing is, and even looking at things prior to Zach Hayward leaving, they started 10 sophomores on that team from a season ago, and they got playoff experience. And you know how important it is, even if it's one game, how important young guys getting playoff experience means for that next year.
That's promising for the future. As all of these guys are building culture together in the offseason, they had a good run last year, so they can only build on that this year going forward. And they're older, bigger, faster, stronger, more experienced, and it's paying off and showing today.
Anderson keeps. Anderson lowers his shoulder to the 6-yard line. He's a fun guy to watch. And, I mean, I think if you're a recruiter, JP, you have to realize he can kind of play everywhere. You know, kind of reminds me of a little Cordell Stewart slash action because he can play every position.
Yeah, he is showing a lot of different skill set packages tonight as a touchdown by the Beaver Falls Tigers.
Yes, and there he is. D'Italian Buford is into the end zone for the Tiger touchdown.
It's an apostrophe touchdown.
It is another one for the game.
Buford's the hot hand tonight, as we touched on earlier. His second touchdown of the night so far. He's rolling. That's a big guy to take down. Great extra effort by him diving in and getting across the plane there.
All deja vu, 22-0 at halftime last year, 22-0 now. Let's see if they can add to that total here with a 2-point conversion as Anderson motions, trying to get to the corner. And he will not, as flags also come flying in, as Meach Taylor can't get there. Keep it at 22, and we will check the flag that's in the area of holding. And we haven't heard much from our Zebra officiating crew, led by referee Thomas Wasco tonight. Umpires Dave Costa, linesman Chris Manning, line judge is Jerry Harpala, side judge Michael Clark Pulner, and the field judge is David Dittler Sr. All right, we're going to step aside. 4:58 to play in the first half. Tigers adding to the score, 22-0 over Blackhawk. And we're back after this break on the Steel City Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine.
I started working out with my dad when I was 12 years old. He said, while everybody else is sleeping, you up working. It's gonna pay off for you. Biggest decisions I ever had to make my junior year. I had my daughter at the time, so, I'm like, I gotta provide. I had the opportunity to leave early. I had to make a decision. Was I gonna leave or was I gonna come back to college for an extra year? I'm about to cry talking about this shit. Once I made that decision to come back, my mindset wasn't just to be good, it was to be great.
My name is Loretta, and this is Special Olympics Pennsylvania.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is competition.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is leadership.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is life-changing.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is unified.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is inclusion.
Welcome back to Beaver Falls and Reeve Stadium on the campus of Geneva College. Alongside Johnny Patrician, Matt Fargo. Hannah Mears is down on the sidelines with us. Thanks for tuning in. 22-0. Beaver Falls has the advantage as Nate Toney has this kickoff for the Tigers and sends it back the way of the Cougars that are bottled up shy of the 40-yard line. Blackhawk offense back to work as Tyler Heckathorn had that return, and they had an opportunity there, JP. We saw some movement out of that Blackhawk offense for the first time, but unfortunately it ends up being a turnover on downs, and BF does what they've done a couple times tonight, which is capitalize on a miscue and a short field.
Yeah, and that's the same theme as last year. And look at the score, 22-0, the same score as last year in the first half. We're watching a replay tonight.
First down and 10 for the Cougars. They hand it off to Watson Trent, and there's not a whole lot to find. Samari McCoy on the tackle for the Tigers.
Not much of a game there, Matt, but I want to give a special shout out to Austin Simons there with the pancake block about 10 yards down the field. It won't show up in the stat sheet, but it'll show up on film tomorrow morning. That was a pancake, probably the most physical block I've seen tonight so far.
Second down, 9. Canale rolling out to his left. Pressure, throws down the field, got a receiver, in and out of the hands, incomplete. Trying to hook up with Sam Stewart.
Oh, man, that hurts. Canale with another dime down the field. That's the second time he showed us a good, accurate, deep ball with some air underneath it that his receivers just couldn't come down with.
He had a step on the defender, McElvey.
That's a heartbreaker. Blackhawk desperately needs a big play to re-excite and revamp that sideline over there.
4 minutes to play here in the first half. Our halftime show coming up at the break. Immediate pressure throwing across the middle, in and out of the hands of Anderson. A early gift, and he'll do push-ups at the 50.
He dropped a gimme there. But that's exactly what Beaver Falls wants. They run a blitz, and they get a defender right in the grill of Canale, and he gets rid of it quickly, and it was overthrown and almost going the opposite direction.
4th down and 9. Punt is away by Pritchard. Fair caught by Anderson, and we'll go back down to Hannah Mears.
JP, you mentioned Canali throwing dimes so far on this field tonight, just struggling to connect a little bit with his receivers. But I asked Coach heading into this game, if things aren't going well for Canali, what do you hope to see from him as a leader? He said composure. He's going to be going both ways tonight, so I need him to be as composed as possible. But he's done a really good job working on arm mechanics and reading defenses, and that's definitely starting to show for his offense.
Thanks, Hannah. Appreciate Hannah's work already this season. I'm Matt Fargo and Johnny Patrician alongside, former Pitt, Penn State, Pittsburgh Central Catholic alum. You got a bunch of degrees to go along with that, too?
Yeah, I got a handful. I'm still focusing on the football degree.
Yeah, that's right.
That career is long but over, and not even close to being done yet. So, in the meantime I'm here on Friday nights, and I'm so excited to share the booth with you. So thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. Happy to have you. And we're looking forward to the 2023 high school football season with you. Next week we'll head to Bethel Park to see the Blackhawks of Bethel Park take on Mount Lebanon, the Blue Devils, next week. Hannah Mears will tell you all about the schedule coming up at halftime.
Matt, a couple moments ago during the break, you mentioned head coach Eric Kasparovich for the Mars Fighting Planets.
Yeah.
And a part of me hates to say this because he was my rival when I was in high school, when he was the head coach of Pine Richland. But in 2021, our ACC championship year at Pitt, he was a volunteer coach for us, and I gained a ton of respect for him. He's a great football mind and even a better person to be around. We built a great relationship that year, and I wish him nothing but the best of luck as he's the head coach of the Mars Fighting Planets now.
Yep, taking on Montour tonight. First down and 10 for the 28-yard line, and they'll hand it off on first down. Will the Tigers up across the 30-yard line to the 31. It's Rawl getting the carrier.
Matt, Hannah mentioned Canali playing both ways tonight, and he's getting his head on a couple of tackles here. It's not often that you see your quarterback in the mix of things on the defensive side of the field, but clearly he's a gritty, physical, tough kid that wants to contribute to the team as much as he possibly can.
Second down and 7. Yeah, there's no question about it. Fun one to watch and get to see him on both sides of the field. Taking down this play clock down to 1 second. Just get it off, and we get a timeout because Nick Nardone wanted to make sure he didn't want to risk the penalty. But we'll step aside and keep you locked in on the action here while we get this message from GBU Life.
I love the things I build and the people I build them with. But I got plans that go beyond buildings. I moved some of my savings into a GBU Asset Guard annuity so I can retire when something unexpectedly great happens.
You made the right call. You chose a GBU Asset Guard annuity, a multi-year guaranteed annuity which works to grow your funds at a locked-in interest rate for a term of 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5!
My son's got that sweetheart football scholarship. Every game, I'll be there, thanks to some help from GBU Life.
All right, Beaver Falls coming out of this timeout. They didn't want to risk the penalty, so they'll burn one here. 3:10 to play in our first half. And also coming up at halftime, get our first look in on Carlos Zofko and WPIAL Insider. We'll break down the top players to watch.
I'm excited to hear that. Carlo is full of energy, full of insight, and he's the heartbeat of Whitfield football.
He really is, and excited to have him back as Whitfield Insider as this carry goes for a yard, no further. It will be third down for the Tigers as Rawl picks up a couple more.
Carlo was such an integral part to the success at Pitt. He is the biggest Pitt fan there is, and he was more committed and passionate than almost anybody in that building. He's the true unsung hero for the Pitt success in recent years.
Yeah, and I think that, you have the inside side of that, of knowing, all the unsung heroes. You're talking about Eric Kasparovich being a volunteer assistant and Carlos Zofko. And
just trying to give credit where credit is due. That's
all
all.
Deep here, and that might be just might be pass interference.
Yeah, we're going to see some laundry there.
That might be the easiest one he'll have all year.
He didn't need to do that. The ball was not going to be caught anyways. I think, sometimes when you're in that position, you just panic as a defender. And he might have a step on you, and you try to grab some cloth to make sure he doesn't make that catch. But it was too obvious there.
Yeah, and in high school, kind of a odd rule of officiating, there's no such thing as an uncatchable call in pass interference. If you interfere with the receiver, whether or not it's uncatchable or not, it's pass interference. And that's different from college in the pro levels where if it is uncatchable, there's no interference.
Right. Well, that was uncatchable and interference.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Well, they called a hold. So.
Defensive holding. Same thing.
Movement. Oh, no, they called holding. They were moving Beaver Falls back.
But the ref right by the incomplete pass threw a flag, too. Was there 2 penalties on the play?
Yep. That's exactly what happened. So that's why it's going to be at the 43. The 42 officially. 2:19 to play in the first half. And Anderson from the gun, 4 wide receiver set. Will throw on the slant route. It's caught. First down for the Tigers. And it's P.D. Pugh on the reception for BF.
P.D. Pugh has shown us some electricity tonight. Every time he touches the ball, he makes a big play. He's making his mark and putting a splash on the field tonight.
I'm going to beg my partner. That was Blackshear you see there making the reception.
Well, you can say the same thing for him.
Applies, right? As Anderson going to take off and run with it. Anderson lowers his shoulder. First down, Beaver Falls. Deshaun Anderson inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, and the Tigers get a fresh set there.
On the roster, it only says Anderson is 165 pounds, and he was running behind all of it there. Wow, he lowered the boom on the second level of that play.
Tigers get a fresh set, leading 22-0, and inside 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Anderson barking out signals here pre-snap. Will throw. This time, it is caught in traffic. Zashawn McElvey makes the reception for the Tigers, and he's just shy of the sticks.
They've been so successful so far running the ball tonight, they haven't even needed to throw it. But right there, they're showing us that they can throw it downfield, too, if they need to.
Rodriguez made the pop that makes it second down and 1. This is Anderson rolling out. Has time, has all day to throw. Will find his man inside the 10. It's a first down for the Tigers. And again, Mike Blackshear, his second catch on the drive. And it will set up a first down and goal for Beaver Falls.
Samari McCoy with a great pass pro block there. Anderson had all day to throw that ball. He could have waited even longer if he needed to. And finally, one of his receivers got open downfield, and now they're cruising in to score again before halftime here, trying to run up the score a little bit further.
17-yard pass and catch. Anderson gets the snap. Design run play. Stop and go move. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Beaver Falls. Anderson from 8 for the Tiger touchdown.
Anderson's on a roll, Matt, and he just showcased extreme patience on that run. Look at this. He slows down, lets his blocker get in front of him. That is hard to teach. Honestly, I don't even know if you can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. That is impressive there by Anderson.
We said he liked Texas Roadhouse. He's eating tonight.
He is eating tonight.
And Beaver Falls has taken a timeout. 36 seconds to go in the half, and we still have the extra point pending here for the Tigers. Talking about this rivalry, these two schools used to be one school. It used to just be Beaver Falls. Most of the communities that represent Blackhawk, 50 years ago, all went to Beaver Falls. Blackhawk founded back in 1970. This is the 51st season of Blackhawk football. I mentioned earlier that Beaver Falls in their 114th season this year. Blackhawk all-time record, 330 wins, 199 losses, and 8 ties. That's Blackhawk. And for Beaver Falls, 696, 421, and 52 ties.
It's a lot of football. A lot of history, a lot of rich tradition between these two schools. It's fun to see them go at it tonight. Just wish it was more competitive so far in this first half as we see a lopsided score thus far.
Mentioned that it's 36 seconds ago. Don't pay mind to the graphic. Having some technical difficulties on that end, but we'll keep you informed as we go for the two-point conversion here, and Blackhawk stacks it up and denies Italian Buford. Great job by the Blackhawk defense there. They get a breath on the timeout, and they were able to make the tackle. First one on the scene for the Cougars was Brendan Rodriguez. He's made a couple of them, and he's actually the one down right now. I think he's cramping up.
You know, those cramps happen a lot often in these first few games of the season.
It
as guys are, yeah, it's still hot. Guys got to hydrate. They're sweating a lot out there on the field.
As the athletic training staff tends to him, we'll thank our 2023 high school football sponsors. Of course, UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, GBU Life, 2 Men at a Truck, Koza Law Group, Special Olympics Pennsylvania, Leeway Enterprises, Bud Bear Collision Center, LaRoche University, Ariana and Richards, Washington and Jefferson, the Waterfront, Ready, Panera Catering, Allegheny College, and JRM Video Production. Thank you for making high school football in Western Pennsylvania possible, bringing it to you on television here on Pittsburgh CW, and next week on KDKA Plus. Well, same channel, same number on the dial, but will be a new name here. From Pittsburgh CW to KDKA Plus next week. Excited to be a part of that new change. Got to hang out on PTL yesterday.
That was fun. It'll be a new name next week, but the same name's in the booth here.
That's right.
I'm excited to hang out with you again next Friday.
Looking forward to it. $28-0. Tigers on top. They'll send it back to Blackhawk. Picked up at the 23-yard line. Stewart trying to shake off a couple, and help arrives. Beaver Falls meets Taylor on a special teams tackle. Blackhawk offense, not a lot of time to work with just 31 seconds remaining in the half. Ball's at the 32-yard line. I don't know that you do anything here, JP. I think you.
I'm sure the players would like to be aggressive,
yeah,
and take a shot and try to get some points before halftime. But if you're Pat Feely, you got to stop the bleeding. You don't want to make it worse before halftime. We'll see what they do here. The first play will tell us exactly what their decision is going to be.
First down and 10 for the Cougars. They go back to work. Maurice Watson-Trent gets the handoff, and the black jerseys are all over it. Samari McCoy.
You know, man, I never understood in situations like this, if you're just going to run the clock out and, you know, wave the white flag, just knee it. I don't understand why you would run the ball and take a chance of a fumble or anything. If you're going to go for it to try to score, you got to throw the ball in this situation. And as I'm saying that, they break a one of their longest runs of the half.
Maurice Watson-Trent gets the carry, and he carries it over the 40 and will take us to the break. But before we go to the break, we're going to go downstairs to Hannah, who has head coach Nick Nardone. Hannah.
Coach, 28-0 going in at the half, but you were really expressive over here on the sidelines after that failed two-point conversion. What were you emphasizing to your offensive linemen?
We can't
not execute because we're up 28-0. We have responsibilities, we have jobs. The score could be 0-0, it could be 50-0. We still expect our guys to execute. So if we don't, we have to make sure we let them know and explain to them how to fix the mistakes that they made.
28 points still a positive for your offense. What have you been most impressed with?
Our physicality. I love the way we're blocking. I love the way we're running. I love the way we're playing defense. We're playing very physical football, and that's what wins games.
Defensively, a shutout heading into the half, just like last year. How do you keep that momentum going?
We can't come out flat like we did last year. We have to make sure we finish this off and not let them back in the game.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck. Guys?
Thanks, Hannah. Appreciate it. Thanks to Nick as well for taking time out as Beaver Falls making a statement in this rivalry renewed. The battle of the 15010 is belonging to Beaver Falls in the first half, 28-0 over Blackhawk. We come back with our halftime show in the back half of this break. You're watching the Steel City High School Football Showcase, all presented to you by UPMC Sports Medicine.
We raised $5,000!
When you purchase life insurance and annuity products from GBU Life, you also have more opportunities to give back to your community. GBU matches donations you make up to $1,000 per member.
I have GBU Life Insurance. Oh, wow.
I have a GBU youth policy.
Whoa.
We've got GBU annuities. Hey!
Our $5,000 just turned into $10,000.
That's a lot of big checks.
Find out more at gbu.org.
Laroche University set me up for success. When I went to Laroche to visit, it stole my heart.
I transferred to Laroche because my original school just didn't work out. Laroche, I was able to be on the basketball team. They had majors I wanted, and financial aid and their assistance helped out a lot.
Laroche students have access to it all: the culture and connections in Pittsburgh and a residential campus in the North Hills. Tour campus and you'll receive a $250 visit grant. Learn about our fall events at laroche.edu.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
Here at Loway, we have a pretty vast array of customizable promotional products, from pens, signs, mugs, water bottles, really anything you can think of. Some of the main services we provide here are screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. What really sets us apart from our competitors is our on-staff design crew and our customer service. We can really help take your branding and marketing to a new level. The main thing you can expect from us here at Loway is quick turnaround times and a really high-quality product.
Trout Plumbing is a registered and insured master plumber that services the South Hills. They offer a variety of services, including camera inspections and dye testing. Trout Plumbing also offers a veteran and senior citizen discount. When in doubt, call the Trout at 412-983-8106.
Pittsburgh. Its long and proud heritage is beautifully preserved in the awe-inspiring buildings that surround it, in the places where we live, where we worship, and where we play. One company has been awarded the challenge of restoring all that great heritage for nearly 75 years. Mariani and Richards, restoring the heritage, preserving the pride.
Welcome in to our Steel City High School Football Showcase halftime show presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. I'm Hannah Mears, and it's been a good one here tonight in this rivalry game between Beaver Falls and Blackhawk. Now, Beaver Falls up 28-0 at the half. Last year, we're up 22-0, but we heard from Coach Nick Nardone going into that half, and there's a lot he still wants to see happen for his team. We'll get to catch up with Coach Pat Feely before the second half takes place. But for everyone out there enjoying week 0 of Whitfield High School football right now, we've got even more for you. For the better part of a decade, Whitfield Insider has been providing social media super fans with incredible content and giving you all of the inside access to high school football in the WPIAL. And tonight we have a special edition package for you thanks to Carlo Zovko, the Whitfield Insider himself. He's going to be breaking down the players to look out for in the WPIAL this season and our first edition of the Whitfield Insider Halftime.
It's halftime already, and I'm your halftime host, Carlo Zovko. Welcome to the Whitfield Insider Halftime Report, presented by Franjo Construction. Franjo Construction, Western Pennsylvania's leader in commercial construction. Nestled in the heart of Homestead, Pennsylvania, this family-owned business is a beacon of trust and reliability. Recognized as the industry's go-to general contractor, Franjo isn't just about building structures, it's about building relationships. Every project is unique, and their integrated approach ensures your visions come to life, executed perfectly. As a rapidly growing organization, Franjo is dedicated to seeking the best talent who thrive in a fast-paced and challenging environment. Franjo values the importance of quality craftsmanship and strives to employ individuals who prioritize enhancing their professional careers as well as themselves. Franjo offers top-notch training that ensures your success. Become a part of the Franjo family and reap the benefits of competitive wages, 401k, excellent benefits, and paid time off. Franjo Construction, uniting our team and customers to build the future. Apply today. This is the Whitfield Insider Halftime Report, and I'm here to tell you the top 10 playmakers to look out for this season. Starting up, you have the Penn Hill Southpaw, Julian Duggar. This kid can make all the throws on the field, and boy is he fun to watch. He moves in the pocket, finds his receiver, and really, he's the captain of the Penn Hills team, and he's looking for the Indians to reclaim Penn Hills gold this year. Next up is Aliquippa running back, Tyke Hayes. This kid is only a junior, but boy, is he built like a man. As you can see on the film, he can take it to the house at any time in the game, but really, he's best in between the tackles. He gets those tough yards. He's your typical Western PA running back, and boy, is he fun to watch. Next up, you have the Penn State commit, Quentin Martin. The kid can do it all on the football field. Easily the top playmaker in Western PA this year, he is a force to be reckoned with. Martin will line up at running back, receiver, safety, linebacker, cornerback, you name it, the kid can do it. As you can see on the tape, he is a threat at any given moment in the game. The Leopards won a state championship last year with him. He's looking to repeat this year. Should be fun to watch. Gateway quarterback Brad Birch, back for his senior year and ready more than ever. The Gator QB can make all the throws on the field, and boy, does he have pocket presence. In and out of the pocket, finding his receivers in these very, very tight windows. He has the accuracy to take the Gators to the top this year. Speaking of taking everybody to the top, Union do-it-all playmaker Braylon Thomas is a treat to watch. They took the single A by storm and really upset Bishop Canevin last year in the Whitfield Championship. Thomas comes back, and I'll tell you what, Union looks like the team to beat this year. It's going to be fun watching him play that Wildcat quarterback, and he can throw it now a little bit too, but he's a playmaker to watch. We're going to stay on the quarterback subject and bring you Central Catholic QB Peyton Wayner. This kid can make all the throws on the football field, not to mention he's one of the toughest guys on the team. Central Catholic has a captain for their ship as the Vikings look to sail to the Whitfield Championship this year. The one guy that might be able to stop Central Catholic is NA's Kyron Boyd. This kid is the fastest player in 6A, and boy, is he electrifying when he gets the ball in his hands. It doesn't matter if it's a kickoff or a bubble screen. He touches the ball, he can take it to the daylight in an instant. Boyd is going to be a fun one to watch this year. Steel Valley has another one. It seems every single year they have a guy that is a one-touch touchdown type of guy, and this is him. He will be running Wildcat quarterback, or he might be split out wide. Him and his brother look to take the Ironman back to the Whitfield Championship and take it all the way to state this year. It's going to be a great one to enjoy in 2A there. Next up, you have Keystone Oaks athlete Clinton Robinson. Robinson going to Syracuse to play defense, but that doesn't mean he can't play some offense here. KO has a great player in him. They can throw it to their big play receiver. He has unbelievable ball skills, and he can come down with anything. Not to mention, if you go over the middle, you might pay, as Robinson is one of the hardest hitting players in the WPIAL this year. He's going to be a fun one to watch. And last but not least, out of Norman, maybe the best wide receiver in the WPIAL this year is Jackson Pons. Pons has unbelievable ball skills. Just throw it up to the guy, and he comes down with the ball. As you can see on tape, his hands are like sticky glue. It's truly remarkable, and he's looking to take Norman to the top this year. It's going to be great to watch.
Thank you so much, Carlo, for all of that wonderful insight. WPIAL Insider, follow along with them all season long, and you'll see them leveling up here with us at halftime each week on our Steel City High School Football Showcase. This is the Steel City High School Football Showcase halftime show presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. I'm Hannah Mears, and take a look ahead at our schedule so you don't miss a single Friday night with us. I heard Brad Birch's name from Gateway on that list that Carlo was talking about. We'll be there in week 3. We've got Thomas Jefferson at Bell Vernon, and take a look at that schedule, fans. You can vote on where you'd want to see us midway through this season, which will be extremely fun, but it's up to you. If you want to see us at your stadium, you're going to have to vote. And I know our very own John Patrician is very excited about this Pittsburgh Central Catholic game covering his alma mater. Such a full circle moment. So make sure you stay tuned with us all season long. When we come back, I'm going to have Judge and somebody who knows a lot about both of these schools, Rick Mancini, with me on the sidelines.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Collision Center. We are the only Subaru certified collision center in Washington County that is also a Subaru retailer. If you hear that crunch, remember, bring it to Bud Bear and we're going to make it look new again. We are the only Subaru retailer within 20 miles of Washington that can take care of you from A to Z. Whether you need mechanical work, tires, body work, whatever it may be, we take care of you. And remember, we are certified. Find out more on our website, budbear.subaru.com.
Good job. Excellent job. Okay? That was tough competition, but it was good competition. It shows you what we need to work on. You can't give up. Okay? And you never have. You've never made excuses. So we just get back in, we get in the trenches, we play 2 games tomorrow, and then we see what we end up with. Got it? All right. 1, 2, 3. TBA!
La Roche University set me up for success. When I went to La Roche to visit, it stole my heart.
I transferred to La Roche because my original school just didn't work out. La Roche, I was able to be on the basketball team. They had majors I wanted and financial aid, and their assistants helped out a lot.
La Roche students have access to it all: the culture and connections in Pittsburgh and a residential campus in the North Hills. Tour campus and you'll receive a $250 visit grant. Learn about our fall events at laroche.edu.
This fall, D3 college football will be home to Pittsburgh CW as we showcase matchups from across the President's Athletic Conference featuring Allegheny, Geneva, Washington, and Jefferson, and more. The season kicks off with Geneva facing Allegheny on September 9th at 1 p.m., only on Pittsburgh CW.
September 1st, Pittsburgh CW becomes KDKA Plus. Local sports you won't see anywhere else. Plus, all of your favorite shows. Plus, KDKA TV News. Coming September 1st.
Maya, can you come in here, please?
Already. Yeah, Dad, what's up?
Is that your brother on the TV?
Yeah, that's my brother. It looks like it's tonight's game.
But how can that be your brother? I have never missed a single game.
We couldn't go tonight. Remember, you broke your foot.
Right. Well, I don't know who's putting on this production, but without them, I'd be missing this.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur, a dreamer with a passion for success? With Koza Law Group, your journey starts now. Whether you're dreaming of a small startup or envisioning a global empire, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Starting a business shouldn't be scary. It's about embracing the spirit of innovation, taking calculated risks, and believing in your potential to make a difference. We are more than just legal advisors. We are redefining legal services. Contact us today to experience the Koza Law difference.
Welcome back into our Steel City High School Football Showcase halftime show presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. I'm Hannah Mears, joined by President Judge of Beaver County, Rick Mancini, who knows a thing or two about both of the schools playing tonight and this rivalry. Rick, you were a coach for Beaver Falls, but then your kids played at Blackhawk. You had a daughter who cheered, so you've seen this rivalry firsthand. What can you tell us all about what happens in this game tonight from both perspectives?
Well, I've certainly been behind the scenes in both programs. And one thing I think we need to know initially, I think all of the Beaver Falls area is proud of both of these schools. First game is tough. Obviously, Blackhawk is struggling here in the first half, and Beaver Falls looks really good. The thing that they need to keep in perspective is that you learn in your first game. When I was coaching, we always felt the biggest improvement we would make would be between week 1 and 2, because you would see kids playing under the lights with everybody watching for the first time on a Friday night, and then you adjust from there. So things are looking really good for my alma mater, Beaver Falls. But Blackhawk, there's hope, and they just need to keep plugging away, and they'll learn. And the key, I think, is coming out of this game healthy, because in the long run, the final score in this game doesn't mean much, but the lessons you learn mean a lot.
Speaking of lessons, you talked to Pat Feely before this game, knowing that he was stepping in as head coach with just weeks' notice. What type of lessons were you talking to him about and trying to keep his mind and everything settled and calm before this game tonight, with him being a first-time head coach?
Well, I told him he needs to keep it in perspective. And I also told him that before the game, your emotions will run wild. Even though it's been a few years since I've been in the locker room, I remember that very well. And then once you get out on the field, things start to happen, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. But the beauty about this game, being what they call week 0 game, it doesn't count in the standings. It doesn't count for the purpose of trying to make the playoffs, which is what everybody wants to do. But you can learn a lot, and you learn a lot about your players. I know they had a few kids that were banged up coming into this game, so hopefully they'll get them healthy, and maybe next week will be different for them.
Rick, something else I really wanted to talk about tonight, the Larry Bruno Foundation, a guy who was a coach at Beaver Falls for nearly 2 decades and left a lasting impact on this community. Can you go ahead and emphasize to everybody out there why that foundation is so important, and give us a bit more insight in the details that it handles in the community?
Well, Coach Bruno was more than a great football coach, which he was. He was a tremendous person, and he had a profound impact on the lives of anybody that came in contact with him. I had the good fortune of playing for him. He instilled a lot of pride in all of us. There's a saying we all go by, once a Tiger, always a Tiger, and that'll never change. And that's attributed in large part to him. And his players throughout the years felt his impact, and we felt it would be appropriate to continue his legacy by establishing a foundation in his name. And that's what we did. One of Coach Bruno's paramount concerns every year was helping his players upon graduation to go on, whether it be athletically or academically or both. And he created so many opportunities for all of us. So we want to continue that. And the foundation encompasses a Hall of Achievement, as we call, which is a synonym for a Hall of Fame. We have a building in downtown Beaver Falls, and we recognize those who have gone on and achieved, not just in athletics, but also in the arts, in the music, in the business world. But former Tigers who have gone on to exemplify the attributes of Coach Bruno. And then probably the thing we do that I think is the most important is we give scholarships every year to students from the 3 school districts, Beaver Falls, Blackhawk, and the Beaver County Christian School, which is located on the north end of Beaver Falls. So we're very proud of that, and we have a great group of people involved with that. And again, the common thread that runs through all of us is that Coach Bruno and playing here at Beaver Falls under Coach Bruno.
And he also coached Joe Namath as well as our very own Rick Mancini. Thank you so much for joining me here on the sidelines. You also know a thing or two about broadcasting, and unfortunately, the county lost 2 amazing radio broadcasters. Our very own Matt Fargo has more.
In broadcasting, there are voices, and then there are iconic voices. And in Beaver County, maybe no voice was more iconic than Bob Barrickman's. Barrickman passed away last December at the age of 67, leaving a void on the Beaver County radio airwaves for the first time in 43 years. Bob was a legend in every way of the word. He covered more than 70 state championships and upwards of over 200 WPIAL title games. Inducted into the Beaver County Sports Hall of Fame in 2008, maybe the only thing more recognizable than his voice was Bob's passion for high school sports. A graduate of Beaver High School and Slippery Rock University, Bob got his start at WMBA Radio in 1980, later moving over to work for WBVP in Beaver Falls, first as a color commentator with Beaver County Hall of Famer Chris Shovlin. Bob also covered the Steelers for the station, including working 3 Super Bowls. And he started what would be his last high school football season with the Blackhawk Beaver Falls game last year. Then just last week, another Beaver County broadcast legend, Jim Frederick, passed away at the age of 70. Frederick served as a sportscaster for Beaver County Radio for over a decade. Beaver Falls fans might recall it was Frederick who had the call of one of the all-time great WPIO title games when Lance Jeter hit a buzzer beater in triple overtime to beat Aliquippa for the 2005 Class 2A WPIL Championship at the A.J. Palumbo Center. Tonight, we remember Bob Berickman and Jim Frederick.
And definitely want to extend the condolences to both Jim Frederick's family and, of course, Bob Berickman with that as well. Thanks to Hannah for the halftime show. And we are back here at Beaver Falls, 28-0. The Tigers on top of the Cougars. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Matt Fargo, Johnny Patrician alongside JP. It's your first broadcast, and your keys to the game were pretty spot on. Capitalizing on turnovers, making defense turn into offense, all applied for Beaver Falls in that first half.
You know what, Matt? Just like a freshman for the first time under the Friday Night Lights on varsity, they're going to have some growing pains, and that's what I'm having tonight. I got a newfound respect for you guys that do this all the time. Our chemistry and my execution is only going to get better from here on out. I can promise the viewers that. But on the field, yeah, the keys to the game were the money so far. Beaver Falls has been on fire, getting their athletes to get the ball in different ways. Jet sweeps, downhill, inside zone, outside zone, even downfield throws. But on the other sideline, Blackhawk has had no answer for Beaver Falls athleticism. No. They got to throw the ball, take some shots. Everybody is looking at Watson Trent. Even us in the booth know it's coming. Yep. And we got to see something new in the second half.
How about the apostrophe gang that has turned it up here in the first half? Let's take a look at the first half stats as Beaver Falls, the tail of the tape. Sometimes it doesn't tell the story. Tonight it is 223 total yards for the Tigers. -6 for Blackhawk, 12-3 in first downs. The turnovers, little bit of a blurb there. There are some turnovers on the ledger for both sides. Both teams have turned the ball over today. And really, one penalty all game long. I mean, there was offsetting, but good job being clean. You like that in the first game this season, but certainly telling the tale here right now.
Yeah, the total yards, I mean, I feel bad for Blackhawk. That's embarrassing to see that on the stat sheet at halftime. You got to hope that new coach Pat Feely can fire him up for the second half, because emotionally, physically, they're taking a beating so far in the first half. I'm hoping they can turn it around. We can see some life in the second half, and they can fight back in this game.
But let's take a look at the first half highlights. The Tigers got things going as Petey Pugh got into the end zone for his first carry as a Tiger. Went for 6.
I think he's the only guy without an apostrophe that has scored tonight. If you got an apostrophe in your name, you get a touchdown.
Absolutely. Pugh gets into the end zone, and the Tigers take an early 7-0 lead. Then this punt goes up the elevator shaft. Beaver Falls gets a big recovery here, and it doesn't take long for them to capitalize on it, as it was D'Italian Buford getting into the end zone for the Tiger touchdown, and Beaver Falls was well on their way.
After this, the floodgates were open. It seemed like every drive they scored after that, although for the one hiccup they had that fumble, but Blackhawk couldn't capitalize on that unfortunately.
I think this might be the turning point in the game. You know, Beaver Falls is up 2 scores. Anything can happen once you get into the end zone, but the punt goes all the way to the end zone for the safety, and just like that, the Tigers are up 16-0. Beaver Falls was driving, then they fumble. Blackhawk recovers, but they weren't able to do anything with it. Cougars ended up turning the ball over on downs, and Beaver Falls scored again.
Well, they got their first 2 or 3 first downs of the game on that, but couldn't do anything further than that. So we're looking forward to see hopefully a few more first downs in this half, and Beaver Falls got to keep the same thing going for them.
D'Italian Buford has 10 carries for 66 yards, 2 touchdowns on the first half for the Tigers, so that's impressive. Let's send it back down to Hannah Mears
down 28-0, I asked Blackhawk coach Pat Feely about what his team can do to start to execute offensively, and he kept things short and sweet, guys. He said, we need to execute on every play and also keep the pressure off of quarterback Stephen Nally, who's been trying to dodge that a lot tonight. Defensively, how he sort of bandages the wound, as JP was saying up there. He said, we've just got to make better tackles, keep things really simple, and most importantly, every single play, they need to make their own. JP, I'm sure you've heard similar things in situations like this from coaches in your past.
Yes, I have, Hannah, and it's not a situation you want to be in, but I'm glad that Pat Feely has his quarterbacks back. He's inexperienced, he's young, so it's a good feeling if you're Canale that your coach believes in you.
Yeah, and you got to remind Hannah that didn't happen very often in your career either.
No, I didn't want to say that, but you can say it.
I can say it. I was there. I saw most of it. You had the running clock on teams more times than not. There's no question about it. What do you do here? I think the other thing on the Blackhawk side of things is realizing this isn't a conference game. It's time to get better because you're walking into a gauntlet of a conference that includes the likes of Central Valley and Aliquippa, but you know what you were able to do last year, even losing this game the way that you did. So now it's about building that confidence moving into the next week. You'd have to assume.
You know, like you said, it's a long season. You don't want to put all of your secrets on film going forward. Like you said, these two teams are in different classifications. So, you know, Beaver Falls is leading on the scoreboard, but you want to keep it at that pace going in the second half. You know, this is a statement game. All these players know each other. You want to give it to them as much as you can.
No question about it. And we're ready for kickoff of the second half. Tigers and Cougars, part 2. From the 25-yard line, it's Stewart across the 30, 35, and upended shy of the 40-yard line. Blackhawk offense back out on the field. And, you know, stats sometimes don't tell the whole story, meaning that big play, that loss on the punt, a lot of the reason why they didn't have all those yards, but they probably had their most success, Blackhawk did, out of that full house formation and running the football and kind of doing the three yards in a cloud of tire pellets. Can't be dust anymore. We're on a synthetic field. But
yeah, that was their most success. But, you know, as we can see here, they're not going to go back to that as of right now. We'll see if they have success on this drive with a different approach.
Canale, screen pass set up to the far side. It is caught. Shaking off and trying to push forward. That's Tyler Heckathorn. Heckathorn, his older brothers, Ryan is at Grove City. Carson is at Slippery Rock. Both big-time players for Blackhawk.
And for Coach Feely and Canale, that is a perfect play to start the second half. Short hitch, right in the flat, easy completion, builds the confidence for the young quarterback they have.
Injured player, we're going to check the out-of-town scoreboard in the WPIL. Bethel Park, we'll see them next week. They lead 12-10 over North Hills at the half. Mount Lebanon, we'll also see them next week. They lead 14-0 over Gateway. That's a big one. Upper St. Clair and Norwin tied 14-14 at the break. North Catholic leads Sarah Catholic 27-21. Penn Hills, we'll see them later this season. They lead 27-10 over Seneca Valley.
I don't hear Central Catholic
yet.
Well,
Here it is.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh Central Catholic is losing to Woody High. No, I'm kidding. They're winning 29-7 at the half. Sorry.
Didn't get me for a second.
I'm going to get you this year one of these times.
What was that score, 29-7?
29-7, yep. Central Catholic, Woody High, redoing the right. First time they played since 2017. That used to be a
we used to be in the
calendar,
same conference.
Appointment, but
exciting to see what they're going to do post Terry Totten.
Canale rolling out down the far sideline. He's got Heckathorn down the far side, and he shakes off one, and there goes Heckathorn all the way to the end zone for the Blackhawk touchdown. Tyler Heckathorn.
I don't think so, Matt. They're going to call it back. Looks like he stepped out of bounds, I think.
59 yards. Officials are talking about it. The band's striking up a tune, and now they've stopped because they find out what we just did, which was this isn't going to stand.
He caught the ball in bounds, but he was out of bounds. a second before that. You can't be the first person to touch the ball once you step in bounds.
Oh. Man, you said it earlier, what can go wrong will go wrong, and this is a perfect example of, the jubilation of the Blackhawk sideline just now. And
emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
There. For a split second, you felt some energy, you felt alive again, and it gets sucked right out of you.
Because, all great comebacks start with a quick score.
Yeah, they do.
Anything can happen. Right, you have to.
But at least they're throwing downfield. They've started this second half opening up a little bit.
Tyler Heckathorn was tight end, moved into the wide receiver role this year. A great athlete. Have to see him get out in space. You see what he can do once he catches it. Back to pass, pressured immediately. Canale going to go right back to Heckathorn, and he can't make the catch. Incomplete. Great coverage. Beaver falls. McKelvey on the coverage. They've been testing him.
McKelvey playing the hands at the right time. I love to see a good pass breakup.
It's fourth down. Punt unit is on for Blackhawk.
Canale just threw a moonshot up there, hoping for a prayer. And McKelvey was on him like a glove.
It's fourth down, and the punt unit is out. Again, back alongside Johnny Patrician. I'm Matt Fargo. Hannah Mears down on the sideline. Our JRM production crew bringing you high school football, our Steel City High School Football Showcase, presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. And Anderson on the return, and great special teams tackling as there is a flag back down where the punt occurred, so we'll have to check the laundry.
Well, it looks like during halftime they were certainly practicing on the long snapper punter exchange. That looked much improved from the first half. Pat Feely decided he wasn't going to give up any more points that way. That's a backbreaker.
Talking to Pat Feely, he is a world history teacher, and I said, were you able to relate at all world history to what you're experiencing? He came up with a great scenario. He feels like he's Harry Truman when he took over as president when FDR passed away, and there was the middle of World War II and just all of this commotion that was going on. And he goes, there's no playbook to be president, and there's no playbook to take over a head coaching role 2 weeks before the season starts.
Wow, that's a great comparison. I see them parallel, though.
And in Beaver County, it is life or death, high school football. He mentioned, too, the defensive coordinator also left 2 weeks ago once Hayward left, and Brandon Kearney, a 2011 Blackhawk grad, took over and is actually related to Nick Nardone, the head coach at Beaver Falls.
Right.
And Kearney, by the way, longest pick six in Blackhawk history, 98 yards against South Park.
It's hard to beat that one.
Yeah, tough one to beat.
Matt, I know the Blackhawk players won't tell us really how they feel about the coaching change, but that had to hurt them with their coach leaving so close to the season.
Yeah, there's no question, especially being a Blackhawk grad as well as Hayward was. Let's go down to Hannah Mears.
Guys, earlier, that Blackhawk offense, you saw them start to click a little bit, particularly Canale to Heckathorn. And Heckathorn actually started every game last year at tight end, but you're seeing him in that new role as primarily a wide receiver. And they moved him there to exploit his height difference because he's 6'4", and his brothers also play college ball, so he's got athleticism. Coach said they changed up their offense a bit to use him more at wide receiver, so hopefully you see that connection happening more and more to try to get that offense rolling when they step back out on this field.
Yeah, we're talking about Ryan at Grove City, Carson at Slippery Rock. Thanks, Hannah. Fourth down out of the stoppage in play, and now we get the punt unit back out there for Blackhawk. They're going to redo this. Pritchard gets the boot away, bounces, and going to take a neutral bounce, picked up at the 32-yard line, and that's where Beaver Falls will begin this drive, but not before we take a break. We're going to burn one of our timeouts. 28-0, Beaver Falls leads Blackhawk, and the Tigers offense on the backside of this break.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 5 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Looking to escape a dead-end job? We can help. Apply at 2 Men in a Truck today for a good job that can become a great career.
This fall, D3 college football will be home to Pittsburgh CW as we showcase matchups from across the President's Athletic Conference featuring Allegheny, Geneva, Washington, and Jefferson, and more. The season kicks off with Geneva facing Allegheny on September 9th at 1 p.m., only on Pittsburgh CW.
And we'll welcome you back. Third quarter action in Beaver Falls. Tigers back to work offensively after the punt. Go jet motion, fake the motion, and it's Pugh. Petey Pugh. Oh, Petey, another first down inside the 45, inside Blackhawk territory.
I think Petey Pugh landed on the ball when he got tackled. It looks like the classic knocked out a wind.
23 yards on the run for Pugh.
But other than that, great play.
You said it at halftime about not wanting to put all your plays on tape. There's a bunch that we're not seeing tonight that are designed for number one.
Yeah, like I said, he needs the ball more.
Back to
Every
pass.
time he touches it, he's
throwing and overshot. Trying to get Mike Blackshire. Mike Blackshire, beg your pardon, the intended receiver. Second down coming up, and we're talking about Zach Hayward moving on. You know, it's a career move for Zach. He was the athletic director at Blackhawk and the head football coach. He takes the AD job at Chartiers Valley, and it had to be tough. He didn't play football outside of the zip code. He was the all-time passing record for Blackhawk as the quarterback, and then came here to Geneva College and played his college, but he was an All-American player here at Geneva and still has 2 of the Golden Tornado passing records. So, I mean, that had to be a tough decision for him.
I can only imagine.
Anderson gets the call, and he gets to the 45-yard line. Nothing doing.
They're still being aggressive, Matt. They're not taking their foot off the gas in this third quarter.
Well, when Hannah talked to Nick Nardone, it seemed like that was the case. You kind of see and feel the rivalry when he was talking about, I love how we're playing physical, I love how we're getting after it, and we're not going to take the foot off the gas here in the second half.
Yes. It seemed like he was glad with the way they played, but not satisfied.
Yes.
He wants more.
Good ball coach. That's the way it goes, right?
Both coaches seem to be very well spoken.
Here comes a blitz for Blackhawk, and they got Anderson. Then the ball comes loose, and it's still loose, and it is fought for and won by, I think, Beaver Falls. Blackhawk comes up with it on the rugby scrum for the football. The Cougars, Brendan Rodriguez.
Well, let's see if Blackhawk can take advantage of this. In a sudden change situation like that, you want to take a shot right after this. When Beaver Falls is getting their subs, getting their defense on the field, maybe they're a little complacent because of the score, take a shot right now.
And a teachable moment for Anderson at quarterback there of, you're up that much, just take the sack. It's not the end of the world. You don't want to turn the football over there.
Right. Exactly right. And he was trying to get rid of it, but couldn't.
First down and 10 for the Cougars. Trying to do something here in the third quarter, 9:41 to play. Alley goes play action. Here comes the big play you called for. Going up top to Heckathorn, and great defense on the other end. Beaver Falls plays it perfectly, and it's Zayshawn McKelvey again breaking up a pass. They keep testing that height advantage, and number 4 keeps stepping up.
He's playing the hands perfectly. He's in great position and turning around at the exact time that he needs to. No interference. Don't even think about it, referees, because McKelvey is on him like a glove.
I think that you might want to put a little bit more air on it. Let Heckathorn go up and get it instead of, I don't know.
They did take a shot, though, which is good.
I like it. 2nd and 10. Play action. Roll back outside. Dump it off into the flat. Got his receiver. It's Pritchard, and Pritchard has a Blackhawk first down inside the 30-yard line.
Canale looked good there. It seems like they're opening up the playbook a little bit in the second half. A nice bootleg. We didn't see that at all in the first half.
No, and popping outside there, you see Alex Pritchard. Pritchard was wide open on that one.
Showing some athleticism there with the tight end delay. Acting like he was blocking and then snuck out the backside last second. And now they're back in the heavy set.
Throwing to Heckathorn on the far side, and again, McKelvey with the pass breakup.
That's his 3rd pass breakup in the last 2 drives, I think. He is getting a highlight tape of footage tonight.
I mean, you're talking about 5'6" against 6'4", and number 4
almost came down with the interception.
He did.
But what I'm most impressed about, Matt, is his eye discipline. He didn't bite on the play action, especially when they were in that heavy set. It would have been easy to get caught looking in the backfield and have your receiver run right past you.
I mean, he has to feel like they're picking on him, and he's up to the challenge, and Beaver Falls a little overzealous on that one. Jacob Jesseman, sophomore, got invited to the party early.
I like that one. You're full of good puns and jokes.
Well, buckle up, man.
You're a seasoned vet on the mic, teaching the young bucks some tricks.
Here we go.
I've got a lot to learn.
Don't make me sound that old.
I've got a lot to learn and a lot of room to improve. But this is fun so far. I'm having a blast with you.
Having a blast with you. As Stewart's going to get the carry, and he'll inch his way down to the 21-yard line. It's going to be about a yard shy of the sticks.
You know, this is one of the most exciting times of the year. Just with the weather, Friday Night Lights, it brings the community back together. I can smell the popcorn from up in the booth here. You know, with
just
the window open.
Smell.
Yeah.
Just the smell is amazing. 3rd down, full house. They send Stewart out as a wide receiver up top of your screen. Nice job there by Canale to get away a one, but can't get away from another one.
Samari McCoy, our player to watch, is making an impact on the offense and the defensive side of the ball.
Well, he thought he had him, and then Malachi West had to finish off the job.
Yeah, but Canale would have had a chance to throw that one downfield if
no
it
doubt.
wasn't for McCoy getting in his
great
grill.
Point. It's 4th down. Cougars to go for it. Beaver Falls trying to stay locked in on that goose egg. Back to pass, Canale throwing, got his man, and it is loose and picked up by Beaver Falls. So the Tigers get the first down. The ball is coughed up, and Anderson scoops it up for another turnover. The Tigers take over anyway.
Man, that's a killer, Matt. That's the 2nd time that Beaver Falls has turned it over, and Blackhawk has given it right back to them.
I don't know that he caught that.
I don't know either. In live time, I don't know if he had possession, but they called it a fumble on the field.
Yeah, we see that again in the truck. Another look at this. This is just for all of our That's a catch. Yeah, I think that's a great defensive play. I think he caught it, and nice hand in there to break it up. Athletic training staff. Yeah, they're a part of the unsung heroes. We were talking about them earlier in the broadcast, and they're a part of them. And speaking of injuries, Hannah Mears has an injury update. Hannah.
Yeah, guys, I got some clarification on Thomas Price Jr. He exited the game in the first half and didn't come back in the second half. He's in street clothes right now with just the bottom half of him in pads, and he's been pointing to his chest, saying he's been having trouble breathing. So it's because of a collision in the first half, but no specificities on what it is. However, he will not be returning to the game.
Appreciate that update, Hannah. Carla better look out. She's going to be the Whippio Insider before it's all said and done.
Erin Andrews better look out. Hannah is so good at what she does.
Fantastic. Fun. It's going to be fun to have her on the sidelines all year long. In trouble on that carry. Stacked up. Nowhere to go. Blackhawk is flying to the football. They're playing run, and Bricks Raw had nowhere to run there. Second down at 9. They give them 2.
Not sure why the clock stopped.
It's a good question, JP.
There it goes. Somebody listened to me.
And then they stopped it.
Might know a thing or two.
Officials take a gander up at the clock there. They're seeing Nick Nardone, and talked a lot about Pat Feely in his first year, but how about Nick Nardone and the program he's built? This is his 7th season at Beaver Falls, and he was an assistant under Ryan Matzuk. Prior to that, he was a volunteer assistant, then became the linebackers coach and then the defensive coordinator. Played football at Lafayette, was the strong safety for them, and 2007 graduate of Elwood City, 4-year starter for the Wolverines, and started at quarterback and safety. Got his master's at Slippery Rock in education. He's a teacher in the district.
Wow. You know, you got to respect a guy that climbs the ranks like that. Starts out at the bottom. You said he was a volunteer, and clearly he's well respected around the program and the community.
How about Petey Pugh at the quarterback position and then throwing to Denari Harris?
And he can throw.
And that's a Beaver Fall first down. I'm really excited for Petey Pugh this year. Like, if you're a Beaver Falls fan.
Yes, I agree. Petey Pugh has stood out to me and impressed me the most, I'd say, out of all their players that have been impressive. But I mean, he's like lightning in a bottle.
Deshaun Anderson's been fantastic, but you said it. I just feel like every time Pugh has the ball, something big can happen.
Yep. Blackshear's been great.
Tripped up there. Nice job defensively. Braden Rodriguez said his name a bunch. He's a junior. He was one of the sophomores that started on that playoff team a season ago for the Cougars.
You've called his name a number of times on the defensive side of the ball. He's making a name for himself tonight.
And you're talking about a guy that's playing safety coming up, or playing linebacker coming up and making plays in the backfield.
Yep. He's been aggressive, been physical, been a sure tackler for Blackhawk tonight so far.
Second down, 7. And they give it off left side to Buford. Buford cuts it back inside to get to the 40 to the 41-yard line. They'll pile some jerseys. Pritchard and Maddox Jabins on the tackle for the Cougars. 5:35 to go here in the third quarter. Beaver Falls 28-0 over Blackhawk.
You know, Nardone at halftime said that he was really pleased with his team's physicality and effort and toughness. And Blackhawk is stacking the box with these cover one and man-to-man looks. They know the run is coming, and Beaver Falls is still having success with it.
Domino Sims gets the carry. And he's going to be 2 yards shy of the first down sticks at the 43-yard line. So it's 4th down. What will the Tigers decide to do here? As they look like they've trotted out Caden Brookner. Haven't seen a lot of him today.
It's always a good sign when your punt team isn't getting a lot of reps.
No. Let's see if he goes into that pooch punt, and he will.
I think the last time we saw this was on the first drive of the game. Almost blocked.
Yeah. That rugby-style punt. Beaver Falls going to get a roll there to the 30. And it will be touchdown for Blackhawk to take another crack at it on offense when we come back. 4:22 to go in the third. Beaver Falls leading the rivalry. Can the Cougars get on the scoreboard? That answer on the back half of this break of the Steel City Showcase, presented by UPMC Sports Medicine.
Tune in this Friday to the Steel City High School Football Showcase, presented by UPMC Sports Medicine, as the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils battle their crosstown rivals, the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Friday night at 7, only on Pittsburgh CW. Are you ready?
September 1st, Pittsburgh CW becomes KDKA Plus. Local sports you won't see anywhere else. Plus, all of your favorite shows. Plus, KDKA TV News. Coming September 1st.
Pittsburgh. Its long and proud heritage is beautifully preserved in the awe-inspiring buildings that surround it. In the places where we live, where we worship, and where we play. One company has been awarded the challenge of restoring all that great heritage for nearly 75 years. Mariani and Richards, restoring the heritage, preserving the pride.
I started working out with my dad when I was 12 years old. He said, "While everybody else is sleeping, you up working. It's gonna pay off for you." Biggest decisions I ever had to make my junior year. I had my daughter at the time, so, I'm like, I gotta provide. I had the opportunity to leave early. I had to make a decision. Was I gonna leave or was I gonna come back to college for an extra year? I'm about to cry talking about this shit. Once I made that decision to come back, my mindset wasn't just to be good, it was to be great.
There's a behind-the-scenes look inside the trailer. That's world headquarters for JRM Production. Thanks to all the men and women behind the scenes that will make it happen for us on Friday nights. Can't happen without them. Jake, Ryan, the crew, fantastic. I mean, they're so fun. They're great guys, and I'm so excited to be working with them this year.
They're so good at what they do. They are the true unsung heroes. We're getting the credit and the FaceTime up here, but they're the ones crunching the numbers behind the scenes for us.
Appreciate it. And also all the camera operators. Got Nick Lucchini up here doing stats for us. Handoff, Watson Trent. And he gets a nice push from his offensive line, and then it starts going backwards. Forward progress will give him the 35-yard line.
Maurice Watson-Trent has a big frame for a running back. Almost reminds me of another 3 named running back with a first name Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh, okay.
If you have 3 names and you're a running back and your first one's Maurice, you got to be good.
Yes. All right, then. No, I'm going to store that one away for the future, JP. 3rd down and 5. Full house. Everybody back there. Pitch it to Watson Trent. And he is just shy of the sticks. About 39-yard line is where they will mark him. Italian Buford trips him up. It's 4th down at the 39-yard line.
Matt, tonight so far we've mostly been talking about Beaver Falls offense and the plethora of athletes that they have. I don't think we've given enough credit to their defense. So far, putting a goose egg up on the board, and they've been shutting Blackhawk down in all facets of the game so far.
They go for it on 4th down. It's Canale calling his own number. And Canale has a Blackhawk first down. Cougars moving the sticks. This drive will stay alive.
I see the big boy, 63, Samari McCoy, working in there. He's making a good case for lineman of the game.
He certainly is.
You know, it's not easy to go both offense and defense.
No.
Especially when you're a big guy like that.
And I mean, you know, you talk about the lower classifications, single and double A, and even in times of triple A, you see those linemen playing both sides of the ball. No question.
He's going to sleep
in
great tonight because he's tired and because he'll be happy with his performance.
Miscommunication as the ball hit the turf. Then Watson Trent breaks free, carries would-be tacklers with them. They're going for the ball, and Watson Trent continues to push forward to the 48-yard line.
Impressive run there. He's showing some life here in the second half. He's not slowing down, although he's carrying the load for Blackhawk. And he has that knee sleeve on his left leg. He has a contusion we talked about earlier in camp and throughout the first scrimmage. Was limited for most of the preseason, but he seems to be doing a pretty good job tonight so far. Hopefully it won't be too sore tomorrow.
2nd down and 2. Long 3. Canale first down to the 45 into Tiger territory. Blackhawk starting to get the push up front.
You know, it's one of the first times they've called his number on a designed run. And he got downhill quickly. He's a big-bodied kid himself. As a quarterback, he definitely shows a lot of grit. And as a teammate of his, that got to fire you up when your quarterback's getting in the trenches himself.
First down and 10 for the Cougars. It's Heckathorn lined up to the far side boundary. Now he comes in tight. They hand it off. It's Stewart, and Beaver Falls got the push that time, and Deshaun Anderson.
Samari McCoy almost grabbed the handoff on that one. He was 3 yards in the backfield within a second.
It was kind of smart that Nick Nardone, they scrimmaged North Catholic last week, and again, scrimmaging a bigger classification school. It's just a smart way of kind of, once you get to the AA level, once you get into conference play, they're going to be ready. As that one a little too tall, Stewart can't reel it in. We'll go to 3rd down here for Blackhawk, back at the 45-yard line.
The scrimmages are always interesting, Matt. You know, you play against a team that you're not going to see during the regular season. I remember when I was at Central, we always scrimmaged McKeesport, which was extremely physical every year, and they weren't in our section. And then for the switch-up, we scrimmaged Perry, the city school. And, you know, they were much smaller in numbers and size than us, so maybe they had the same mindset as, you know, you scrimmage the big dogs, and it's going to make you better.
Makes sense to me. Then you get into your City League schedule, and it makes sense. 3rd down and 11. Canale, time, steps up, zips it into traffic, and it's intercepted, picked off. Beaver Falls interception. Meach Taylor gets the pick.
Yeah, I'd like to take a second look at that.
Nicely done by Taylor.
Meach Taylor
on the replay.
You know, pause it right here. Meach Taylor is sitting back here, and he is just baiting these receivers that are coming down. His eyes are on the quarterback the entire time. Go ahead and play it from there. And his eyes are on Canale the whole time, just waiting for him to throw it. And he stepped in at the perfect time.
He really didn't move.
He didn't.
Before the
I don't
ball
think
was thrown.
Canale saw him at all.
Telestration. First telestration of the season.
Tony Romo style.
A lot of gadgets from the JRM crew that JP's going to have fun with up here this year.
Oh, I'm fired up. That was a blast.
Pretty good. That looked good, man. You've been practicing. Petey Pugh on that carry to the 40-yard line. And that's going to take us to the end of Chapter 3, Episode 1, Steel City Showcase. We come back with Chapter 4. It's Beaver Falls leading this one, 28-0. Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine.
Panera's You Pick 2 means when part of you wants crispy, crunchy, fresh, and part of you wants melty, smoky, peppery. Both U's win big. You pick 2 and get more. Cater your next event with Panera.
Sure, I'll be there at 5 a.m. I can binge one more episode.
Let's face it, you don't always set yourself up for success.
5 more minutes. Where are my work shoes?
But GBU Life makes it easy with life insurance and annuity products to help secure your future, so you have the freedom to do more of what you love.
Congratulations! You did it! Retiring early must be nice. What are you going to do first?
I think I'll sleep in.
Secure your future today. Visit gbu.org.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
This fall, D3 college football will be home to Pittsburgh CW as we showcase matchups from across the President's Athletic Conference featuring Allegheny, Geneva, Washington, and Jefferson, and more. The season kicks off with Geneva facing Allegheny on September 9th at 1 p.m., only on Pittsburgh CW.
You never know nowadays.
And we welcome you back here to Beaver Falls, and we have another report from Hannah Mears. Hannah.
Hey guys, JP was excited about that Beaver Falls defense. Well, Coach Nardone was excited about his defense coming into this game too. He said they're going to be strong because they're returning 8 starters, and the level of maturity has made it really fun to coach these guys because they know what they are doing. They sometimes even see things before we as coaches do. They have a high level of football IQ, and it makes our jobs much easier. So I'm sure he's thrilled by this performance to close out the game.
Thanks, Hannah.
Hannah's getting some great intel for us tonight so
She
far.
certainly is. As we begin quarter number 4, 28-0. Score doesn't budge in the third, and gonna try to take off and run with it. It's Petey Pugh. Pugh across the 45 to the 46-yard line. It's gonna bring up 3rd down and 2 as McGraw makes the tackle for the Cougars.
Looks like it's Petey Pugh's turn to get some Wildcat snaps again. Everybody's getting back there. And that's a good strategy to have for Nardone and his crew. Going forward, you got to feed the hot hand.
3rd and 2. On the 46. Pugh will keep, and he's stacked up, nowhere to go. It's Brendan Rodriguez. Again, just put it on repeat. We'll also give credit to Tristan Brunson for the Cougars, as it is 4th down now. So 4th and 2, move them back. Loss a yard, 4th and 3. Looks like the punt unit is trickling out there for the Tigers.
You know, if you're Philly, the one positive thing you can take away from tonight so far is that your team is showing fight, at least on defense and offense. You know, the special teams has a lot to work with, but defensively, they're still out there. They're being physical. They're not just rolling over and ready to go home.
Yeah.
Because when the score goes 28-0, things could go one of two ways. You could bow up, or you could just let them roll you.
You're making a great point, JP. This is going to be a delay of game on Beaver Falls. And I think they're fine with that. Blackhawk thought they took a timeout. They did not. But yeah, I mean, the fact that the Cougars, I mean, this is a prideful program. I mean, you talk about the history. We were talking about Joe Hamilton earlier. Last WPL championship for the Cougars came back in 1998. But it's a proud, storied program, and these kids know what this is about, and you appreciate the fact that they're continuing to play this one out. You gotta love it. Those two, Denari Harris and Deshaun McKelvey. Here's Beaver Falls' upcoming schedule. Rivalry game again next week on the road at Beaver. The Bobcats, who took down the Tigers last meeting last year. That was their only regular season loss. And just seems like Beaver's the team that Beaver Falls can't figure out. Then the Knock Knights will come here to Geneva College before the section schedule opens up for the Tigers, as it will be the New Brighton Lions on the road, opening up the MAC conference schedule. It's going to be, looks like we might be repunting this for the penalty. Yep, we're going to replay the down here at fourth down.
You know, Matt, just the other day, we got to talk about the official barber
that's right.
of the Steel City High School Football Showcase. I want to give a shout out to Pittsburgh Dave, the official barber of Pitt football, the official barber of us in the booth. He gave us a fresh cut the other night so we can look good on camera tonight. So shout out to Pittsburgh Dave. Follow him right up on Route 8 by Ross Park Mall.
Fantastic job by Dave.
I believe that's Route 8. Ross Park Mall?
That is McKnight.
McKnight Road. McKnight Road,
yeah. Somewhat close.
Yeah, I could
refresh
my geography. I haven't been back here in a little bit.
You're a Pittsburgher, too. Like, no one says street names here. You always say, it's close to the get-go, down the street from the place that, Aunt Susan wrecked her car the one time. That's what it is.
Very true. Very true.
No Pittsburghers talk about street names, right? But everybody knows McKnight just because it's a McKnight Mare.
Yeah.
It's going to be first down and 10 for Blackhawk. 10:18 to play here in the fourth quarter. Cougars have kept this away from the 35 running clock margin here, and now Canale going to Heckathorn, and they finally connect. Heckathorn, a stiff arm. Heckathorn finally pulled down inside the 10-yard line, and they've been trying and trying and trying, and Canale connects to Tyler Heckathorn for a big play.
It was only a matter of time. They've been so close 4 or 5 times this game so far, and they finally cashed it in.
50 yards on the pass and catch, Canale to Heckathorn.
After the big catch, it looks like he's cramping up down there. But he's been running go routes all night long, waiting to get one. Another deep ball down the field that Canale was able to put in a good spot. He's given all of his receivers a chance to come down with it. I've been impressed with the way he throws the ball down the field so far tonight.
He has it. He has an arm.
And that was something that Feely and his staff was looking forward to seeing this year as compared to last year when he was thrown into the fire.
No question. Now this being his third season as a junior, it's going to be fun to watch him. Speaking of Blackhawk, let's take a look at where they'll be coming up. Their upcoming schedule. Golden Rams will come to town for the Blackhawk home opener next week, and then they'll go see JP's buddy Eric Kasparovitz up there in Mars. And then Mo Rubenstein Stadium, Ambridge hosts the Cougars 3 weeks from today.
That's my buddy now, but when I was in high school, that was my arch nemesis. And he's a great football mind, a good coach, but I will say I was not his biggest fan in high school because I wanted to beat him so bad.
What's your record against him, or do you not want to talk about that?
He beat us in the WPIAL championship, but I think I beat him 3 times. Not I, we beat him 3 other times.
Man.
And may I mention that the WPIAL championship, it should have went the other way. There was a bad call, but we won't talk about that.
Years of therapy. Rolling out into the end zone. Incomplete. Could not connect. Trying to get Alex Pritchard there on the reception. Take a look at it again.
Oh, Matt, Cody Woodward was open there for a second.
I was thinking,
you were thinking the same thing? Right at the pylon.
It.
But tomorrow morning in film, Canale's going to wish he threw it to him.
Yeah. Third down and goal from the 4. Turn around and hand it off. And he runs in to a wall of Tigers. As Watson Trent gets knocked down, Malachi West.
And obviously they're going to go for it here, right?
I would have to assume so.
Even if they don't come back tonight, Matt, it feels better leaving tonight with some points on the board. You never want to leave the field with a goose egg up underneath your school's name. Let's see if they can punch it in here.
Building blocks for next week. Rolling out, Canale under duress. Looking, throwing into the end zone, and it's incomplete. There's a little bit of a shove there. And incomplete. There was a flag down over where Canale threw it.
On 4th down in the end zone, you have to at least throw it in the field of play. You'd rather it be intercepted than to throw it out of bounds and not even give your players a chance in that situation when you're down 28 points.
Well, it's going to be a roughing the passer call anyway. So Blackhawks going to – that might have a reason why that ball went that's where it did. No, I mean, he's throwing off his back foot, and I don't know. The debatables roughing the passers continue, I think, at every level of football. I don't know about that one. But Blackhawk gets another crack at it. Keeping and into the end zone for the Blackhawk touchdown is Alex Pritchard out of the Wildcat formation. Touchdown Cougars. Blackhawks' first score of the season.
Alex Pritchard punches it in out of the Wildcat, and there was no stopping him. He was getting in there. He wanted 6 points. And that got to be a sigh of relief for the Blackhawk sideline.
Extra point. Hayden Wisner. This is actually Will Brown, sophomore kicker, going to attempt the extra point. So not Wisner. And Aiden Brown, the sophomore, puts it through the poles. Nicely done.
Lefty kicker.
How about it? Cougars on the board. Beaver Falls still leads it 28-7. It's our Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC. Sports Medicine. We'll be back.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 5 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School football broadcast.
At 2 Men and a Truck, we'll treat you and your belongings like we'd treat our own grandmas.
Here we go! Hi there. Hello there. Welcome.
Whether we're moving you across town or even across the country.
Tune in this Friday to the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine as the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils battle their crosstown rivals, the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Friday night at 7, only on Pittsburgh CW. Are you ready?
Welcome back to Beaver Falls. Fourth quarter action. Blackhawk and the Tigers of Beaver Falls going at it 28-7 alongside Johnny Patrician, Matt Fargo with you, and Hannah Mears down on the sideline. Wisner does have this one teed up. Wisner, the cousin of all-time Blackhawk leading rusher Trent Wisner. As bottled up there is Mike Blackshear. And we'll go down to Hannah Mears. Hannah.
Blackhawk finally some points on the board tonight as they add 7 to their offensive total. And head coach Pat Feely told me no matter what happens tonight, whether it's pretty or not, he just wants improvement. They can work from there. And we have to give some credit to this Blackhawk defense as well. Down 28-0 at half for this team, and their defense has kept Beaver Falls scoreless in the second half so far, guys.
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking off of what we've been talking about, this game has kind of gone very similar to script as last year's did. It was 22-0 at halftime last year. It was 22-7 was the final. Now it's 28-0 at halftime, and now 28-7. I don't know if we're going to see another score tonight or not, JP.
Yeah, Blackhawk defenses came to play in the second half here, and a big part of that is because Alex Pritchard, I want to give a special shout out to him. He's the one that scored the touchdown, and then he just made a great tackle rundown on kickoff, showing some resiliency, some commitment, and some compassion to his teammates. He's saying, this game's not over yet.
Second down and 6 after the pickup of 4. And Anderson going to let it fly down here. Looking for Petey Pugh. Petey in and out. Incomplete.
That was a great throw, and that's the hardest catch to make when it's over your shoulder like that, running full speed. And you got to turn your neck and watch it come over the shoulder. But Anderson dropped it in a bucket there. Oh. That hurts.
It's going to be 3rd down and 6 at the 31. I think that's the first time we haven't seen Petey make that big play tonight.
Yeah, he's been on fire all night long. He's going to wish he had that one back.
Jet motion, they fake it and keep it to Anderson. Anderson here to the near side and has nowhere to go. Bottled up by the Blackhawk defense. First one on the scene, Connor McGraw, the junior.
John Patricia, nice to meet you. Very well spoken. You should be in the booth.
I'm sure you guys got everything under control.
It's going to be 4th down here for the Tigers.
4th down and 5.
And I think Nick Nardone was debating, maybe we roll this thing out of here. But see Brickner coming out there, and he's been the guy to pooch punt this away.
The last pooch punt he did, they were getting close to blocked.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he takes a step or two back before letting this one fly.
Oh, man, just a line drive punt. Gonna roll. It's a dangerous one to scoop up, and Blackhawk doesn't want any piece of it. Down to the 28-yard line where it will be the Blackhawk Cougar offense back out on the field. And we want to thank again our 2023 Steel City High School Football Showcase sponsors: UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, GBU Life, 2 Minute a Truck, Codes of Law Group, Special Olympics Pennsylvania, Leeway Enterprises, Bud Bear Collision Center, LaRoche University, Mariani and Richards Incorporated, Washington and Jefferson College, the Waterfront, Ready, Panera Bread, Allegheny College, and our friends at JRM Video Production. Back to pass, Canale throwing over the middle, and behind his receiver as Stewart was trying to make the catch on Pugh. Pugh in coverage. And it goes incomplete as the judge just walked up into the booth. Rick Mancini is in the house.
I was very impressed with his interview during halftime. Very well spoken. He knows his football, of course.
Yeah, you want him talking football. You don't want him talking about your miscues legally. You know, that's where you want to. You want him always talking football. Pitch left side. It's Watson Trent trying to get to the corner. Rick and I spent years calling a lot of Beaver County football on radio and had a blast doing it. And great to start in Beaver County. There's something about this place, JP. I know you probably played some Beaver County teams in your time, but it starts with that guy, obviously, Joe Willie. Played here at Beaver Falls, and all of the great people and players that have come out of both of these programs since. It's just something different here on a Friday night in Beaver County.
Feels great. Feels great to be back and exciting for the rest of the season to all the different places we're going to go. But we're starting off with a traditional rivalry here. See if Blackhawk can pull back into this one.
We get a timeout taken. All right, we are going to step aside, but we'll keep you locked into the action as we take a look at a word from our friends at UPMC.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
Welcome you back here as Beaver Falls back on the defensive side of things, have this 28-7 advantage. Shotgun formation for Canale, and trips here to the near side. And BF showed blitz, and it might have gotten Blackhawk to jump as we get a flag here. No chance. And it is a false start against the Cougars, so they back up 5. It's going to make it 3rd down, back at the 25-yard line. 3rd and 13 officially. Back to pass, Canale. Just going to let it fly as he had pressure, and he goes down the far sideline, and it goes incomplete.
Looked like Beaver Falls was in man coverage there. Canale looks like he could have had Sam Stewart across the middle, but, you know, down 28-7 in the 4th quarter, he's throwing it downfield, which I don't blame him for.
Yeah, Kai Morrow was the intended receiver. on that one, and it makes it 4th down. Punt unit comes out for Blackhawk. 5:35 to play here in the 4th. Of course, following our broadcast, 10 o'clock news, KDKA. Here on Pittsburgh CW as this one rolls out of bounds. Last time we'll say Pittsburgh CW. Next week it will be KDKA Plus. And that means where we're going to go next week. We're going to have a big one. 2 new coaches for their programs. Mount Lebanon and Bethel Park go at it coming up next week. Then we take a look at what has been a great rivalry, South Van and Montour. Franklin Regional and Gateway battle it out in week 3. TJ Bell Vernon, the Mon Valley Showdown. West Mifflin Avonworth. Then week 6, our fan vote week. You'll be able to make the choice on where we will be. Penn Hill Central Catholic in week 7. I know JP is probably going to take that weekend off. Bishop Canevin, Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. That'll be a good one in single A. And finish it off right back where we start. Beaver County, Central Valley, Aliquippa. Throw it out here into the flat. So it's caught by Domino Sims.
You know, you mentioned Aliquippa. They got Heinz Field now, which will be interesting to check out, huh?
No question. It would be. It would be nice. Well, with 5 minutes to go, Tigers want the clock in their favor. How about lowering his shoulder? How about this run? This is Bricks Rawl wearing 5, but 28 on his helmet gives it away. Rawl with a tough run.
Jeez.
They're speechless, JP.
They're not slowing down here in the 4th quarter. They're still playing some ball out there. That was a physical run. We heard that up here in the booth.
We did. Earlier we were talking about enrollment. Have a stat for you, JP, as Brickner will throw it out of the flat. Buford makes the catch, and the Italian doing what he's done all game long. All right, so we're talking about enrollment. Beaver Falls has 174 boys in its school, and Blackhawk has 283. Oh, over double.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that big of a difference.
Yeah. Talking about a 4A school and a 2A school.
And that says a lot about Beaver Falls' program, their staff,
and I know
the culture that they have.
And I know Beaver Falls fans will roll their eyes, but I have to make mention. It also is a testament to what Aliquippa is doing as a single A school playing in 4A.
That's unbelievable.
And winning as much as they do.
Wow, that's not talked about enough.
It's not. I mean, it isn't. It's in a. And the bizarre thing is if Aliquippa is successful this year, if they make the WPL championship this year, according to the rules, they're going to have to move to 5A.
Wow.
Which is just asinine.
That doesn't sound fair, but they're making it happen.
I know.
That's crazy. I mean, we know they couldn't hang in 6A with Central Catholic.
Oh, here we go.
So they better not win the next 2 years then.
Brickner going to try to scramble for it, and he gets up to the 36-yard line. Well, assuming that the Tigers hang on in this one with 2:20 to go, I think that's a pretty safe assessment. They will only need 3 more wins, JP, to eclipse 700 wins as a program. There are only 8 teams currently with 700 wins.
Are you going to ask me to name
I
them?
was going to see if you could get a couple.
Aliquippa?
Correct. They're second.
I'm going to say Central Catholic is not one of them.
That is correct.
Thomas Jefferson?
No. But a team from that neck of the woods, but smaller.
Clareton.
Correct.
I was going to say them before you gave me that hint. Is North Allegheny in there?
No. You're missing number 1.
Number 1.
You got to go back before your time for a couple of these.
Yeah. I don't know. Give them to me.
Jeanette is number 1, 770. Keep in mind, Aliquippa, should they win tonight, they're at 769. They would tie Jeanette tonight if Jeanette were to lose. So Aliquippa may be winning his program in WPIL history. And when we come back, I'll tell you more. How about that? That's called a tease in the biz.
Can't
JP,
wait.
Come back with us. It's the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. We'll be back after this.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Collision Center. We are the only Subaru certified collision center in Washington County that is also a Subaru retailer. If you hear that crunch, remember, bring it to Bud Bear and we're going to make it look new again. We are the only Subaru retailer within 20 miles of Washington that can take care of you from A to Z. Whether you need mechanical work, tires, body work, whatever it may be, we take care of you. And remember, we are certified. Find out more on our website, budbear.subaru.com.
We raised $5,000!
When you purchase life insurance and annuity products from GBU Life, you also have more opportunities to give back to your community. GBU matches donations you make up to $1,000 per member.
I have GBU life insurance. Oh, wow.
I have a GBU youth policy. Whoa!
We've got GBU annuities. Hey!
Our $5,000 just turned into $10,000.
That's a lot of big checks!
Find out more at gbu.org.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur, a dreamer with a passion for success? With Koza Law Group, your journey starts now. Whether you're dreaming of a small startup or envisioning a global empire, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Starting a business shouldn't be scary. It's about embracing the spirit of innovation, taking calculated risks, and believing in your potential to make a difference. We are more than just legal advisors. We are redefining legal services. Contact us today to experience the Koza Law difference.
And we'll welcome you back. Reeves Stadium on Geneva College campus. Johnny Patrician alongside. I'm Matt Fargo. Hannah Beers roaming the sidelines with us here on Pittsburgh CW and streaming worldwide on CBS News Pittsburgh. Oh, the ball comes loose.
He got it back.
He somehow, in the most fortuitous way, is able to get that ball back. That was bizarre. First carry for Sincere Freeman. And he fumbles that forward, but still going to be a Beaver Falls first down. And that's kind of how it's been going for PF. Even when they fumble, they fumble forward.
That was a lucky bounce, to say the least. But, Matt, right there is our player of the game to the left, Italian Buford.
And to the right was our lineman of the game.
Yes.
The defensive lineman of the game is Samari McCoy, brought to you by Koza Law, protecting our defensive line. We're going to give some shout-outs to some linemen this year, which I'm excited for. We're going to be able to point out the linemen as much as we are. We're going to have a player of the game, but also going to give some love to the linemen, the big fellas.
I like that award. You know, they never get the praise,
No.
never get the credit, but they do all the hard work in the trenches. It's a thankless job, so I'm glad we're going to thank them tonight.
Samari with the shades on.
And
that's Anderson with the shades on. Samari to his left.
McCoy's been all over the field, defensively causing havoc in the backfield and offensively giving holes for his ball carriers and time for his quarterback.
See, they're having shouted out the cheerleaders on both sides. It's a new season for them as well as the marching bands. Had a great halftime performance by both Blackhawk and Beaver Falls marching bands. They've been striking up a tune all ball game and keeping the fans into this one. Freeman, or Jewell now, in at quarterback for Beaver Falls, and we'll get up to the 11-yard line. That's Kenny Jewell. Jewell is a sophomore on this Beaver Falls squad. Eric O'Neill in on the stop for the Cougars as we're under a minute to play.
Getting some young guys some tick here at the end of the game. Like to see
Love
it.
to see it. Love to see it. Beaver Falls going to move to 1-0. Eyeing up that they have some revenge plotting next week at Beaver. 30 seconds and just going down to a knee is Jewell. Out of respect for one another, these rivals, but respectful, and that's exactly how this game ends up as Beaver Falls will take down Blackhawk 28-7 and defeat their rivals, the Blackhawk Cougars, here tonight.
I think it's important to mention that Beaver Falls went scoreless in the second half.
Absolutely. I think it was a fantastic performance by the Blackhawk defense in the second half. I think they did a great job.
If you're Coach Pat Feely for Blackhawk in his first game as head coach, that's the positive that you can take and talk about going forward in the locker room tonight.
All right, Hannah Mears has our player of the game. Hannah?
Italian, you're our player of the game tonight. Found the end zone twice, and your offense looked really good, particularly in that first half. Coach said to be a championship team, it's a marathon, not a sprint. How do you think you guys performed in the first steps of this race?
I feel like we performed good. We came out, we were running team, so we came out, ran the ball. They couldn't stop it, so we kept doing it and found the end zone twice.
How good does it feel to beat your rival in week 0 and get this chip off your shoulder?
It feels great. I mean, they was talking all week, and we came out and finished it, so it means a lot.
Congratulations on being our player of the game, and good luck the rest of the season, guys.
Thanks, Hannah. Thanks to Italian. Congrats to Italian, our Steel City High School Football Showcase player of the game, as the Tigers led by Buford in those 2 touchdowns. As we take a look at some of the highlights from tonight's ball game, it really was a great performance by Beaver Falls early, and they were just really able to kind of put it on cruise control in the second half.
Yeah, I think they got a little complacent in the second half, but in the first half they were dominant on both sides of the ball. It was clear that Beaver Falls was more talented, more physical, and their head coach at halftime hit the head on the nose. He was perfect in saying that they were more physical and they wanted it more tonight from start to finish.
Yeah, there was no question as this is the lone touchdown in the second half for the Cougars as they get it done into the end zone. Blackhawk was able to punch the only score in. Alex Pritchard puts it in, and there's your final 28-0 or 28-7, and Beaver Falls moves to 1-0. Blackhawk falls to 0-1, but both teams going to be able to push their way towards the section schedule, and that's really what Week 0 is all about. It was created either to have a second scrimmage or be able to have a game that you were able to play and work out things, and I think you get more out of a game than you do scrimmage.
No doubt. Under the lights, things change. You really see who your players are. As long as everybody comes out of tonight healthy, then, you can't look at tonight as a loss. It's a learning experience, and Blackhawk is only going to grow from this, and I think Beaver Falls gained some confidence going into the rest of the season.
All right, thank you so much for watching our first game of the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. Coming up, it's the 10 o'clock news on KDKA on Pittsburgh CW, and then, of course, watch for highlights on KDKA Sports. My man Josh Taylor and the KDKA Sports Gang will have all the highlights from some of the great games in high school football in Week 0. For our entire JRM production crew, thanks to Jake and Ryan. For Johnny Patrician and Hannah Mears, I'm Matt Fargo saying thanks for watching, and good night, everybody, from Geneva College. We'll talk to you next time.